east because I'm right. And everything is. Everything is east.
There you go.
Just keep going because the world is a circle.
It's not though. All right. Sorry, I had to. This episode is made possible by our therapy partners, Dirty B and Pickett, from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Pod Therapy. Real people, real problems, and real therapists. You can submit your questions anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. And now, broadcasting from the churn, that's Jim, that's Whitney, I'm Nick. It's time for some Pod Therapy.
What's up, fam? So we have, every Monday, we release new content at patreon.com/therapy. It's our Good Morning Mental Health. Start your week with something a little bit more interesting. Not the Q&A stuff, but we kind of dive deeper. This week, we had Emma Kane, equine therapist.
Oh, how exciting.
It was really fun. Yeah, so on Discord, she's one of the members there is Tonka Truck the Pony, which is the name of her horse, Tonka Truck. And just a great conversation. I learned a shitload about equine therapy.
Oh, cool.
I really thought it was different than it is.
Yeah, to be fair, because I did listen to the episode, you did learn a lot. But to be fair, your starting point was pretty low.
Okay, yeah, no, the bar was dirt low. There it is. I forgot that was there. I genuinely forgot that was a jingle. It's been a while since I've learned anything, I guess.
No, that was a really good episode. Emma did a
really
great
fun.
job. That was really entertaining.
She did great. And so, yeah, definitely learned a lot. If you're interested in equine therapy and just like a just good time, patreon.com/therapy. It's a good month for it. $5 and higher gets you access to the Monday stuff. And it was a good one. So, yeah, I really learned a lot.
That's cool.
Makes you wonder if you could experiment with all sorts of animals in therapy.
In therapy. Good addition.
I like to punctuate my sentences.
Brief pause.
Yeah. Just had to swallow.
In therapy.
Yeah, I mean, people do, people work with dogs in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
There's therapy dogs.
There are.
We actually, the adolescent...
Everybody has a style. Yeah.
The adolescent treatment program that I ran, we actually had a therapy dog.
Did you really?
Yeah, some lady came in and she would bring in her dog and would just sit there during groups and stuff.
That's great.
Yeah. And it could sense when somebody was really struggling with something. The dog would just kind of go up and lay by it. And
it could also sense if someone brought bacon into the room.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you just
I
eat
feel
lunch?
like you need me right now. We had a therapy dog up at the mountain rehab at 48-bed men's program up in the cabins. But it wasn't a therapy dog. It's just two dogs that lived up there at the camp. Didn't belong to anybody. They belonged to the camp. Nobody ever knew how they got there. Yeah, exactly.
It's a coyote.
Yeah. He was hanging out.
A therapy coyote.
Yeah.
I believe they just call that an unbalanced ecosystem.
It's just a mountain lion.
Jim's like petting it. It's growling.
Yeah. So anyway, fun times. Appreciated that. It was a really great episode. And check it out, patreon.com/therapy. And jump in on all of our Monday stuff. It's always good stuff coming through the pipeline. We've got some great questions for today's show. And the first one is it's been a while since we've had a question of this type. But I feel like years ago we have answered something similar to this. Hosting an intervention. My family is scheduled to stage an intervention for a family member soon to address his drinking. I've never been a part of an intervention before and wanted to see what kind of advice you all have. He's previously agreed to go to a rehab if he were to overdrink again, which he did last week, and we have the medical records and blood work to confirm it. So we're hoping to have him go to a rehab the next day after our intervention. I've tried reading tips online, and I saw a recommendation that you shouldn't blame the individual, but you should also talk about how their drinking has affected you and your life. But how do you do that without blaming them? I don't really know what to bring up or if there are certain things not to say or do. I also don't know what we will do if he refuses to go to rehab. He's tried AA and individual therapy, but it's not seemed to help. We're also planning on having this intervention without telling him ahead of time. I worry that by keeping this a secret, we're also guilty of lying to him. So how can we have the expectation of honesty during our meeting? Any tips would be great. Thanks. Love the show. Anonymous.
I am fascinated by that last part. Do people have interventions and tell people about it before the intervention happens?
I think that element of surprise is pretty important.
Yeah.
I thought the surprise thing was standard.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except
All
the
of
time-
mine have been surprises.
Have you ever heard? You ever heard
Jacob,
the
don't
comedy?
tell
Hey,
me.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Everybody come on in.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in.
Come on,
guys.
it's always a good party.
No, guys, leave the liquor out there. God damn it. Never invite Jacob's friends to the intervention. They're already drunk. Did you ever hear John Mulaney in his comedy talking about how he was heading to a friend's house and he figured out it was an intervention?
Yeah.
Oh,
So he didn't go. He went
Yeah.
to the bar.
Oh, shit.
And then he stumbled in, like got bored and just wanted to hang out with his friends.
I was going to ask you, this may be a weird question, but do people still just do like this person
Oh,
is, but like,
yeah.
is it popular? Is it?
I think it's necessary.
Oh,
There are-
like what?
there
does
are
that look
professionals that only do interventions.
Yeah.
I guess I could see a professional be involved. Like, could you just in your family, like, be like, all right,
Sure.
well, okay.
Yeah. A family could just organize it themselves if they
organize
want
it.
to.
There's really
It's
good resources
better.
on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's better to have somebody who's like going to be in charge and kind of lead it. And know
Sure.
what
I
they're
did
doing.
one.
I mean, you
I
could do
was
a
hired
fucking
to do an
spur of the
intervention.
moment at the bar if you want
could.
to.
Yeah.
Like,
You've had
We're
enough.
going to the bar
it's
after
it's
this.
weird. Like, it's a little off-putting to everybody else at the bar.
Well,
but I mean,
sick
you
of your
can do
bullshit,
it however you
Jacob.
want to do it.
You didn't order any goddamn fries, and then you ate mine.
Yep.
Because you're a fucking drunk.
I was hungry.
Get in the cab, go to the rehab.
You're addicted to
We're
fries.
sick of your bullshit. No, I did. I led a intervention, and this was whenever we were working at a rehab, and I still had a private practice, and somebody reached out to me and said, hey, here's our situation. We saw that you're available. We saw that you also work in rehab. Can we, but this was for gambling. And so, yeah, the person with gambling addiction had borrowed money from every member of the family and just burned through it. Big whole problem. But yeah, so we met with the family first and just kind of went over do's and don'ts. And like this question came up, so like this is a question that comes up a lot, which is, are we supposed to make this person feel uncomfortable with the nature of the problem? Because if we all just sit here, hold hands and sing Kumbaya and say, we love you so much, please get help. We've tried that a million times, right? We just did this the other day and they said, hey, if I ever overdrink again, we'll do that. They always kick the can down the road.
Yeah.
Right.
So they say that you should be presenting this person with, basically the uncomfortable truth of how their problem has affected the family or affected you individually. You owe me X number of dollars. You said you were going to pay it back. You said that you needed it for your rent. Then I discover that you gambled it. And then I come back and I discover you're asking cousin Johnny for the rent when I thought I paid your rent. And then now, blah, blah, blah. And so it's important to be able to show somebody, here's how your problem has manifested. Here's where there are resentments, there are problems. I insist, I demand that you get help.
Right.
That doesn't have to be mean and like, you're a piece of shit, I hate you. That's what blaming the victim looks, or not blaming the victim, but that's what blaming the person looks like.
But no,
That's what we
I
don't
think
wanna
that's
see.
exactly. I mean, that's. I think that's a great answer to the writer's question. Like, how do we present these problems that your alcoholism has caused us without it sounding like we are blaming you?
We're not
It's
here
not
to
like
beat you up.
shame.
That's the thing, is
more
it-
like
we're not airing
responsibility.
resentment.
You don't
That's
have
not
to
what this
attack
is.
them for it, but you can tell a story.
they're facts.
You can
Yeah.
say, with the gambling. I don't know what. I don't want to make things up about your friend and your loved one with their alcoholism. So I'll make things up about Jim's person with the gambling addiction.
Go for it.
And so I mean, you can say, I lent you $500 because you said you needed $500 or your kids weren't going to eat and you weren't going to be able to pay the rent this month.
Groceries,
So I gave you $500. That hurt me. I had to really scrimp that month because you said you're going to pay me back in a month. And I had to really scrimp that month. And I had to go without some stuff that I usually go with. And that hurt me. I mean, you can just lay the facts out.
It's just facts.
Yeah.
So I think one of the powerful things about doing an intervention, and in a way, this is kind of how we would use it in SUD, substance use disorder treatments, is like through motivational interviewing, is creating a clear discrepancy
Yeah.
for the individual. It is supposed to make them uncomfortable, but the discomfort comes from the discrepancy between how they see themselves and who they are
Yes.
and the behaviors.
yes.
And so it's kind of like being able to say, like in Jacob's example, okay, so I see myself, if I'm the person, I see myself as somebody who is honest, who is caring, and really, cares for my friends and has a lot of respect for my friends. That's how I see myself. But then Jacob points out, yeah, but this is your behavior.
Right.
And so it makes it obvious for me sitting in this seat to see, wow, this is who I see that I am, but these are the behaviors that I'm doing. These don't coexist.
Yes.
So something has to change.
Yes.
Now, I think when it comes to like blaming the individual, what I think can become harmful is when we're not talking about the behavior, but we talk about the person's identity.
Right.
Okay,
You're a
so
bad guy.
Exactly. Or you're a liar, or
Yeah.
you are blank. If we start making implications about who they are as a person, you lose them.
Right.
Because if you have a problem with my behavior, I can change my behavior.
Right.
If you have a problem with who I am,
I can't change that.
I can't change that. So I'm naturally going to become defensive.
Right.
You're a
I'm
golfer.
Exactly. I'm going to fight back.
Take it
on
back,
that.
you son of a bitch.
My scores clearly indicate I am not a golfer.
But that's what the professional can help you with. The professional can help keep you on that track.
And we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You absolutely keep people reined in. But you do want everybody that's going to attend the intervention, and this is what I prepped them with, I want everybody to have a story in case they're called upon. And then I usually have 2 or 3 that I think are the most obvious that we are going to tell. And I'm going to have the person sit down. I'm going to say, Jacob, your friends and family are here today because they have some things they want to share with you. It has to do with your behavior and the way it's affected their lives.
Yeah.
Would you honor them by sitting with them and receiving what they have to share with you today?
Only if they present it in puppet show form.
Yeah, which it's done. That's how you kabuki theater all interventions. Otherwise, they're very
Didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah,
Kabuki puppets.
Your Muppet work must be strong
Okay.
in order to do this area of mental health.
Whole CU's on it, I'm guessing.
It's very important.
Hi-ho! Your drinking has been affecting all of us.
Excuse moi. Yeah.
Well, I hope that helped.
So yeah, storytelling is different than victim blaming, or I keep using the word victim blaming, just blaming this human. But yeah, they are going to be
Kind of
uncomfortable.
attacking.
I really like the point in here about we're going to do the intervention, and we are going to insist that this person go to the rehab immediately. And that's part of it. A lot of times people do this intervention thing and they say, so we really want you to deal with this. And the person is crying and they're emotional. You're right, guys. I'm so sorry. I love you all. Thank you for caring about me. I promise, pinky promise, I'm going to go get help. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to find the right place. Don't you worry. I'm going to find a therapist. It will fail. They will almost always fail if you do that. You have to show up, bags packed. So the guy that we intervened for, we had his girlfriend as part of it, and she had already packed his bags, ready to go. We had already found the rehab that he was going to be going to. The family had already made arrangements to transport him there. There was no questions, because when that intervention was done and the emotions were flowing and breaking through the denial and his willingness was high, and he was like, I am willing to do this for all of you. And there's a big part of intervention work where toward the end, you're giving this person back their power by inviting them to agree with the direction and saying things like, Jacob, are you willing to honor this family and do what they ask you to do in the name of your relationships, in the name of your future? And yes, I love you, Mom. I'm willing to do it. Great, get the fuck in the cab and let's go. Bag is packed. We're in the trunk. We are on the fucking way.
You
And
definitely
we
have
can
to
move.
strike while the iron's hot.
Oh God, because they'll fucking change their mind in the cab.
Yeah, they often
instantly.
do. By the time they
Drop me
actually
off at the bar.
by the time they actually get to the facility, and
What have I done?
They've had a long car ride to think about it.
Oh yeah.
And I also wonder even how that's done sometimes when people, send people across the country, and
That's a hard
okay,
one.
you got to get on a plane. You gotta
Sometimes
go
you send them
here.
with those recovery coach guys
Yeah,
that are their companion.
Yeah, that's often the case. Yeah, because if you send somebody who's got an alcohol problem to the airport to get on a plane,
Yeah.
they're not
Mistake
getting on
number
that
one.
plane. They're going to be way too drunk to get on that plane.
Now that
Unless you send them
it,
to Terminal 3 at Vegas.
that one's so shitty.
Like after 9 p.m. or
yeah,
something.
everything's closed.
There are 3 vending machines that are going. That's it.
Yeah, you're scrounging
horrible.
for
Wow.
fucking pretzels on the ground. I hate
I
that.
had a 12:30 a.m. flight the other day out of Terminal 3. Nothing.
It's such a pretty terminal too. It's
And it's great when it's
pristine.
open.
Well,
when
it's
things are
beautiful.
open.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all the international flights.
I think they have
That's
a
why don't
Johnny
have
Rockets
middle of the night
when
things.
it's open.
Yeah. Oh, they
That's
have
pretty good.
tons of restaurants
Yeah.
that were closed.
I'm glad you got to look at them through the chain link fence.
Just
We had a lot
imagine.
of day one flyers. People that would show up to the rehab on day one had just come fresh from intervention or some big consequence in their life. They had decided this, and they arrive, and we're doing the check-in, and we're like going through their luggage and making sure there's no contraband, doing the initial interview. We had more than a few that were like, I changed my mind and just grab their stuff and just run out. And we were like in a
Wow.
Vegas neighborhood. And so they would just identify the strip and just start running.
Go that direction.
And it was always so wild because we'd be like, bro, this isn't jail. Like, we're not
You
going
can
to
leave.
chase you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, you can order an Uber.
Yeah.
Like, you can just
We'll
leave.
help you order an
We'll
Uber.
sit with you outside.
Please don't run down the street like in this neighborhood. Like that's
That
not
seems like
safe.
maybe the first thing you should say, honestly.
Yeah.
Just be like, look, we are
Before
not
we
holding
start,
you here.
yeah.
You're not compelled to stay here
Oh my
unless
gosh.
you are. I don't know.
Sometimes they are, but yeah,
Even then, I feel like it's not your problem to chase them.
I'm not chasing them.
Yeah, it's hot out. But like the second thing then too, like, okay, so you're worried about like the dishonesty thing that you're kind of keeping it a secret. I don't know. I've never really given that much thought to it. Yeah.
It's like keeping the secret of like your Christmas presents. You don't
Yeah.
tell your kids or family or whoever like this is your Christmas
Santa
present.
got
and, like,
you a
yeah. Like you keep that as a secret
breathalyzer.
because there's
Got
a
you a
purpose.
nice bottle
Like,
of wine.
I mean, it's the only way it works.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously if they know ahead of time, it's pretty easy to deal with that. You just don't show up for it.
Or you could do the fucking boss move. You could tell them about the intervention. Tell them, like, yeah, we're doing an intervention at your house at 10 p.m. And then everybody shows up to where you know that person is going to show up to avoid the intervention.
The
Like
friend's
they're
house.
gonna they're gonna go to the bar to a friend's house or whatever, and like everybody's just there. You're like, yeah, this is where we're gonna do the intervention, motherfucker. Sit down.
Idiot.
You're playing checkers. We're playing chess.
Yeah, you're playing checkers. We're playing baseball.
Still lying though.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't stress too much about that. I don't think. I mean, here's the thing: if the individual, if your friend or family member says to you, "Oh, so you expect me to be honest? Well, you weren't honest with me about this intervention." I call bullshit on
I'm
that.
calling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna start
Oh,
playing
yeah.
the
Yeah.
pointing fingers
Exactly.
game. Like,
Oh, yeah.
all right.
It's because man,
Give me a fucking
man,
break, buddy.
Yep, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
You can have that one.
You pawned grandma's
can,
pearls? Yeah.
yeah.
No, fuck you. Yeah. We're the bad guys. Yeah.
very
yeah.
very quickly people can turn into the victim in their own story.
How
Yeah.
could you? You know what asking me to be sober does. Makes me want to drink. You do this to me.
Yeah, well, and that's a serious thing. Like all of my clients, they all had these really interesting ways to completely reframe something.
Oh, yeah.
To paint themselves as the victim. Oh yeah. And just be like, well, I wouldn't do this if you would just
I
blank.
would never ask you to go to rehab.
Right.
I can't believe you would betray me like this.
Yeah. Yeah. and
What?
It's like, wow, that's a
The mental
stretch.
gymnastics
Like, oh,
is
yeah.
impressive.
Settle down,
Yeah.
chin
Yeah.
strap.
Oh,
Ah,
damn it. What about you, Quack? What
I
do you
knew it.
think?
I knew it was coming.
Quackers would be pretty good.
Quack.
Yeah.
The guilt is tough. That's like I get it's because you're a kind person and you care about this loved one of yours.
Yeah, you
but
got to kick that.
but when, definitely
mistake number one.
fuck them. But yeah, just like we talked about stories that they're going to tell themselves, you kind of have to reframe or like tell yourself the story that, you know, this is to help them and not, it's not about your guilt. It's about what's best for them. And that's kind of what's needed from what Jim and Nick are saying.
Mhm.
Well, and it comes back to the idea that if we all agree that the correct way to see this problem is as a mental illness and as a disease, but the nature of that mental illness is that it prevents you from seeing it while it afflicts you, then we as a community or the people that love you have a responsibility to reveal this to you in the only way that you can possibly receive it, which is going to have to be sort of the sneak attack. Because if that's the other thing too. I have never seen an intervention hosted where this is the first time that person has ever heard any of this.
It's not news to them.
So they're
That's fair, too.
That's a
Guys,
good
I didn't know
point.
you were upset I didn't pay you
I
back.
thought you wanted to loan me $10,000.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing you a favor.
I could have sworn we were all on board with this.
I thought you heard me say under my breath, I'm never going to pay you back.
Right.
You'll be lowering my body into the grave.
That's true. I mean, they
and
are
still not have this
surprised.
money.
They are surprised that intervention is happening then and now.
Yes.
They are not surprised at the issues that people have.
They can finish all your sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is no.
Hey, when you
surprise.
borrowed $10,000 from me and never paid it back, that made me feel sad. Look at us go.
Yeah. So this is a tough one, Ryder. I mean, I don't envy the task. There's some really great short books out there that just kind of give you a play-by-play of like, do this, do this, do this. If you can get a therapist to host the intervention, I'm a big fan of that. Yes, there are professional interventionists. I have a love-hate relationship with them. Like, sometimes I think they have some really neat value. I think they can do really cool things. A lot of them are willing to travel and like get on the plane with your loved one and take them to a rehab. And they have a lot of, de-escalation skills. They know how to do this on the road. Sometimes I think there's really big value to that. Other times, some of the interventionists are a little too close to like body broker marketers for rehabs, where they have specific ones they work with, and they're basically just a fishing pole that's reaching across the country and bringing patients to certain programs. And that industry has struggled with some credibility and safety in the past, so sometimes I don't love that. I'm a big fan of local therapists who you could see your loved one returning back to and working with. If it's an addiction specialist, finding an addiction specialist in your community and saying, hey, we're going to do an intervention, we're going to get them to rehab. Would you please serve us in this way? And usually that therapist is going to meet with the family first, prep them, tell them, hey, you might get pissed during this thing. This person might argue with you. Here's all the moves that might happen. Here's where I want you to leave it to me. And I'm going to, intercept that and like get this thing back on the rails. And then they'll actually show up to the real intervention and host it and hopefully block that person. And honestly, I'm a big fan of having the therapist or interventionist there, because a lot of times people, take it way more seriously because like, oh shit, you went and found like this therapist person. And they also tend to behave themselves. Because there's a witness where they're like, oh, fuck. Like I don't know what this person can do to me. Like, can they legally put me in a psych hospital? Like, they tend to shut the fuck up and listen for a while.
That's a good point.
So and that adds to the catching them off guard thing. Because now there's this whole nother person here. I'm not just yelling at all of you and rehashing beef from 10 years ago where you stole my toy or whatever. Like, it helps to have that other person. So if that's possible, I'm a big fan of that. But I love this. I love setting it up to go directly to the rehab right after the intervention. And then, getting these agreements with them. But keep in mind, this person might check in and check out a week later or check out a day later. You don't have a lot of control of that.
Just addressing your general feeling about the whole thing. You feel bad about it. It's a shitty situation.
It's a
shitty situation that your loved one has put you in.
Yes.
Yep.
Like you're in the situation because of them.
Yes.
So give yourself a little bit of license to just relax a little bit.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
Yeah. And I like your attitude, Ryder, because you're not going to share stories from this anger voice. You're going to share it from this "you hurt me" voice.
Yeah.
And that's very persuasive. Like when people hear that story of like, Jim, you were drunk, you backed into my car, you caused all this, damage, and I've been paying for it because I didn't want to like make your life more stressful because you're clearly drinking because your life's out of control, but my life sucks now too. Okay. Like I'm not hearing you hate me. I'm hearing about bad things.
Well, I think
I'm past being mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yes.
The powerful thing in that too is when you're talking about their behavior, you're pointing to things that can't be argued.
Right.
They're obvious behaviors. And then you talk about how you feel.
Yes.
Both things they can't argue with.
Very important.
Yeah, because I can't say you didn't feel that way.
You didn't get it.
Yeah,
or you say things like,
sense.
and then you stole it, and then you lied to me, and you meant to. No.
And then now you're opening all these doors. Of like,
How
no,
dare
that's
you.
not how that happened.
That's not how that happened.
And then it turns into a fight.
You said this. It's like, nope, no, I didn't. You thought that. And You want to stick to really clear facts.
Yeah.
I gave you
Because they're going to argue.
$10,000.
They're going to argue every single point that they can.
Oh, absolutely.
Including like if you say I've seen this happen.
Yes.
Like here we're taking you to this rehab tonight, and they're going to say something along the lines of, or they might say something along the lines of, I don't even get to pick my own rehab.
Wow.
I don't even get to have a say in that.
Yeah.
Like, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Get in the cab.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get to pick what kind of socks I wear.
No.
You're all Nazis, man.
Yeah, fine.
It's always Nazis.
Yeah, get in the cab.
Yeah, but that's a really good point, Nick. If when you do the sharing and the presentation, it is facts, only facts, and then
Nothing that they can latch onto.
And I felt this way about that because you can't dispute that either. No, you didn't, Whitney. You can't tell me how I feel. Like, I felt this way. Like, okay, so I agree with that completely. And you don't want it to be this laborious 10-hour memoir meeting where we're rehashing every
what meeting?
fucking thing. Memoir.
A 10-hour what?
A memoir.
Oh, a memoir. Okay, great.
What did I say?
Moving on.
That
No, you said memoir.
WIRE.
Memoir.
Yeah, you said memoir. Yeah, just move on.
Memoir.
Yeah, great.
Yep. Sounds good.
I just
What
misheard
is
you
the
the
right
first time.
word?
No, you got
No,
it.
memoir. That's
Shut
a
up.
great
That
word.
is the right word. You guys are just
That's a
fucking
great
with me.
word. That's a
Whitney, how do
great
you
word.
say it? How do you say that word, Whitney?
Jim, I just misheard you. I want to continue your thought.
What's the real word? That's not it. It's a memoir.
That sounds closer. You're getting warmer.
Memoir. Memoir. Wire. Memoir.
Oh my
Memoir.
God, Jim.
Is that not it?
Say it a few more times.
Memoir. Memoir. What is the real word? That's not it. It's a memoir.
Yeah, it's a memoir. You got it. You're good.
All I can say in my head is the way Jim says it now. I'm like, I don't
Memoir.
even want to say it out loud because all I
It's
can hear is memoir.
MEMOIR.
It's-
Memoir.
It's croissant.
Shut the fuck up. Is this one of those words?
No, you're doing
Is it a
great.
croissant word?
It's a little bit.
Ah, fuck that word. Then I'm doing it the American way, which
Yeah.
I'll reclaim that word.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm liberating that word.
Memoir.
What is the right way?
America.
America.
Fuck
yeah.
Coming up to save the motherfucking day
But
now.
you don't want to have a long diatribe or memoir when you're discussing it with them. Just present the facts to them and take it seriously like we are now, and and just let the facts speak for themselves and voice your disappointment and hurt in the situation.
I'm just upset now. We're going to take a quick break.
You can't go on.
And when we come back, we're talking about mom who can't stop spending money. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Mammy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Smitty Scoop, Nathan's Hot Dog Scoop, Mason
Strap's
Miller,
upset.
Tess
I
Miller,
am upset.
Byler T, Paris, Team Monaco, Oscar Swanros, Hannah Marie, and Emma Kane. And if you would like to sponsor the show, become a therapy producer at patreon.com/therapy.
I remember reading Thomas Jefferson's memoir.
Hold the fuck on.
It was
Everybody
wonderful.
shut up. Everybody shut up.
Memoir. Memoir. Memoir.
Memoir.
Nope.
I'm saying the
So
same
close.
fucking thing as the robot.
Memoir. Memoir.
Memoir?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
there
go.
you go.
Yeah.
Really?
Memoir.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
You got it, though, from the robot. We're so proud. This is how people learn to speak in the future. The robot told
Tim's over
me.
there with his speak and spell.
Huh.
Hooked on phonics.
It worked for me.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Peter just told me this week that he learned Hooked on Phonics off a record player.
Nice.
Like, who are
Fuck
you?
yeah.
When were you born?
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to share that.
Oh,
What is-
Cool.
I was watching the moon landing like Peter.
like, how old are you? Jeez.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Okay. Advertising slogans from the 1990s.
Oh.
That is our trivia for
90s.
this week.
Oh,
So
we
this
just-
will be fun.
we just
I
hit
might
Hooked
have a
on
shot.
Phonics.
I feel
Yeah.
good about
I
it.
know.
Is
Wow.
Hooked on
Good
Phonics
one.
on the list?
Were there
It is
records?
not.
Oh.
Dang.
That would
Because it worked for me.
Okay.
Don Phonics worked for me.
Is it got milk?
Okay.
Oh.
That.
Well, you
that
just got
was-
ahead of him on that
Okay.
one.
Okay. Who was that advertising for?
Oh, shit.
Milk.
Wait, is this the... Okay.
Just the cow
hold on.
company.
No,
the
this
milk.
is not one of them. But that
Just
It's
is
just
cows.
milk.
no.
Big
it was
milk.
No, it was
Big milk.
It was Big Milk. Yeah, it was like the American dairy farmers.
Yeah, it was
So
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Something to
that's
that
what I mean.
Yeah.
The
It
cow.
was like it was like the dairy industry.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
just a big entity.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
Big dairy.
big dairy.
It wasn't like Borden.
The big D.
Number
Yeah.
between 1 to 10. Go.
10.
3.
5.
Okay. It was 3. So you got it.
Why did we
So
move
we're
on?
gonna go.
Fucking dumb.
We're gonna go.
What?
We're gonna go.
End of trivia.
Why do we keep asking after Whitney guessed the number? In case I said also 3.
I didn't think of that either. All right. solid point. All right.
Great number.
So we're gonna go. We're gonna go clockwise. Okay, so Whitney, you get the first one.
Okay.
If you get it wrong, Jim gets a chance to steal.
Okay.
Okay.
If he doesn't get it, Jacob goes.
Okay.
Chin strap, Craig T. Nelson.
Here we go.
Quack.
Just for the taste of it.
Oh.
Oh, Diet Coke.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
That's why I said I have a
Taste
chance
of
at this
it.
one. Just for
Diet
the
Coke.
thrill of it.
Okay.
Yes,
I was gonna say
that
right
was
guard.
it. Yeah, the bit.
The very best thing of all, there's no counter on this ball.
Oh, skip it. Skip bow.
I'll give you the first one. Is skip it.
Yay!
Okay, nice. I don't know if I
Yeah.
got that one.
This is gonna go fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was confused
Bro,
by that one because the
Whitney
skipping
and
had a
I
counter
were
on
We're
it.
like-
fucking watching Nickelodeon every day of the 90s.
We were addicted to
You're both
television.
fucked.
But the skipper had
You guys were way too
old
skipper
for this
had a
shit.
counter
Our
on it.
moms were working and
It
we were
did.
at home
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
Nickelodeon.
We
I don't
fucking
understand that. I don't
raised on
understand that
this shit.
slogan.
The very best thing of all, there's a counter on this ball.
Oh, there is a count.
is it-
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I misheard.
Yeah, it keeps track of how many times.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Okay. The juice is loose.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I was like.
You should get at least a half a point.
I
for
feel
that.
like I should.
You're not
Is it-
wrong.
I mean, when the white Bronco was going down the
Yeah,
freeway,
the juice was
the
loose.
fucking thing of the bottom third of the screen said the juice is loose.
Juice
Yeah.
is loose.
The Chiron.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
The lower third Chiron said the juice is loose.
Juice is loose.
That
What
was
is
definitely
the,
on one network, at least.
What is the product outside of O.J. Simpson?
Juice is
Oh.
loose. Also, O.J. Simpson
I
definitely
don't
repped this
know.
product.
we didn't have
Yeah, I was like,
we didn't have television
Oh
in
my
my
God.
house. We had the networks. We had the 3 networks back then.
Yeah.
like,
On
what is
like
OJ
on a small
Simpson?
13-inch television.
I'll give you a hint. If this does not fit, you must acquit.
That doesn't help. What do you?
a leather glove.
You're so close.
He wrote about it in his memoir.
And then
Memoir.
if I did it.
Yeah, something like that.
Memoir.
I don't know. Sunny D.
Oh, good
That
guess,
was a
but
solid
no.
guess.
All right.
That was
Guess.
a solid guess.
Whitney, you got a crack at it.
Juice is loose.
I mean, I was just going to say
Juice is
orange juice, but I mean, is it a brand? It's a brand of orange juice? Or
It has to be a
Is
product. It
loose.
has to be the name of a product.
a product?
Juice.
I mean, I'm sorry, brand name. Brand name.
Oh, so like Tropicana? Or
Juice.
I don't know.
No.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Sorry.
I would have guessed
Give
Sunny
me
D. That was in my
Tang.
head. So Tang?
You all got it wrong.
Tang, it
it?
can't be Tang. Yeah. Tang never.
Starburst.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
Oh.
Yup. Damn it. Now I remember the commercial where they all explode.
Okay.
Like the fucking
I don't know
bad
if I'd
guy
have
in
gotten that
Big
one,
Trouble in
but
Little
I remember
China.
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They must have gotten rid of that quick after the OJ chase.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it was.
I think
Yeah.
they just.
They're like,
that
we're
one.
taking those billboards down
Short-lived.
today.
Yep.
93 was a bad year. For
Oh,
that
if
slogan.
O.J. Simpson had driven the white Bronco past the Juices Loose billboard on the freeway,
Just.
I mean, like,
Well, that's how you know we live in a simulation.
we'd
Yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
be talking about it. That's all we'd be talking about right now.
just
Yeah.
the meme.
It didn't even happen, and we're still talking about it.
So we're all tied at 0.
I have a point. Diet Coke.
1-1.
You both have a point, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah.
take it. So that was round 1 done?
Yeah, you
Round
got the
1 done.
point.
All right.
I like it. Mom can't stop spending money. Hi, Jim, Nick, Whitney, and Jacob. Well, not even one of those is a code name. Wow. I heard your call for questions. This is something I'm going through currently, so I thought it might be a great question. I've taken over finances from my mom because she keeps borrowing money from everyone in the family. There's no reason for this either. They make more than enough money to cover bills and have money for things like a night out every now and then. You might be asking, what does your father think of all this? And why doesn't he get involved? Well, great question. My father, you're welcome. My father's a stereotypical husband of the 50s. By this I mean he made the money. That was his only job. He doesn't know anything about the goings-on of the house and doesn't care to know. My mom also hides any troubles they might be facing from him. She also has this idea in her head that she must keep up with the Joneses. Anyway, to help with the situation, I decided the last time I saw her, I asked her if I could take over paying bills for her. I said something to the effect of, you're getting older and it would help me if I knew your bills ahead of time, so if something did happen, I already know what I'm doing. She agreed. She gave me her password book, and I spent the next few hours going through her passwords and accounts, and she told me her bills, so I thought. We agreed that I would give her a portion of their Social Security and pension for things like food, groceries, going out, etc. I would take the rest for bills. Now, the problem after we agreed to all this, I started learning about the debt that she was in. She has 15 credit cards,
Yikes.
all maxed out.
Oh, I thought you were going to say $15,000 in debt, and now I wish it was just $15,000 in
Just wish
debt.
that.
Yeah.
I have started paying the highest interest credit card to pay them down.
Good, smart.
But she has decided to use those in addition to her budget for things. So it's like whack-a-mole. However, they still make enough to cover bills and keep her budget, so not an issue. Yay. However, yesterday I learned that about 3 years back, I gave her money to put in a tub for seniors. I guess that means like an account. I thought that money was spent on something else.
I think they mean like a bathtub for
Yeah,
seniors.
bathtub.
Like
To buy
remodeling.
a tub for seniors.
Yeah.
Oh, like
I definitely
like a
thought it
walk-in-
was shove
Yeah.
money into a tub.
Yeah, I
Like
did-
a
I-
And I was like,
bucket.
tub must be
Yeah.
slang for bank account.
Yeah. No, like
Yo,
so they can
bro,
walk
how
in.
much you got in the tub?
How much you got? I mean, tell me it doesn't work. You tell me that doesn't work. Because that works. I
Do I have
totally know
enough-
what you just said.
Do I have enough money in my tub
Yeah.
to last me for like
I
2
heard it
years?
your way in my head,
So I
but
figured it'll take
hearing you
about 2
say it out
years for me
loud,
to
I
really
was like,
write my memoirs.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
it's a bathtub.
Yeah. You got to open up one of those Roth bathtubs, man. That's how you get it.
For
That's how you get the
seniors.
real.
Oh, so it's like one of those like walk-in bathtubs
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
I imagine it's got like the one with the door.
Yeah,
That's what I think it is. I thought that money was spent on something else, but apparently she used some of it for a deposit with the company, but then never gave the rest to them. The company now calls saying they would like to do the job. If not, they're keeping the deposit. However, the job must be paid in full. No financing since it's been 3 years since the contract was signed.
Oh, that's kind of great that company is still being like, we'll still come do it.
I know.
Yeah, I know. You're lucky they're even calling you.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't.
Question. Like if they just said like, if you called them and they said, oh no, we cashed that check and that was just
that
our money
deposit's-
a long time
yeah,
ago.
The statute of limitations is
Yeah.
run out. So here's my question. My mom is being good. My mom being good with being open with me. However, it's hard for me to get her to stop spending money. For example, she was overdrawn at the bank when I first started helping. I told her not to spend any money for 2 days until the next check came in, and I would borrow from my bank account until then. She said, okay, honey. Next day I see she had a Temu transaction
gosh.
and groceries for $100. She told me that one was a payment she forgot about. The other was she was at the store and there was a sale on distilled water and some other things. Then she said she needed gas for the car.
Can't ignore the
So
sale.
that was another charge. This overdrew her even more. When the check came 2 days later, she spent most of it. So I had to cover more of her bills. I want to help my parents, but I feel like my mom can't stop spending money, and I'm just putting myself in a worse position than I was before. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Anonymous.
Oh, this stresses me out
I
to just
know.
listen to this.
Yep.
Ugh, I'm upset.
Oh my god.
And we're gonna have to do this for Jim one day.
I'm going to have to roll in my tub of money now. Get clean. Get dirty.
I would feel taken advantage of too. And it seems like your mom can't help it. It's almost like a compulsion, or maybe she's not thinking about it, but I mean, it doesn't sound personal, even though it feels very personal because you're invested in it.
Right.
I have this is not financial advice, just a heads up stipulation.
We don't
whatever.
give financial advice on this show.
No.
Any financial advice that you take from this show, you made a mistake.
Yes, but I have a question. So when you die, what happens to like credit card debt and stuff? Does it, in the United States, I should say? Do y'all know? Does it just
It comes out of
disappear?
your
Or
assets.
Yeah, so
Oh.
they can.
Yeah.
I believe, and I'm gonna.
It comes out of the deceased's assets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And anybody who's
So-
co-signed onto the card.
That's the
Yeah.
catch. I was going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But one thing is make sure your name isn't on
Stay the fuck
anything.
away.
Like help.
Oh,
Help without putting your name on like
Yes.
co-signed documents and things like that.
yes.
Oh gosh, so they can still pull from like your estate or something.
Oh
once you
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
die?
debt doesn't go away. It's owed.
Well,
Yeah.
it goes away once the estate is depleted.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if your
Debt
estate
gets
is
paid
worth
first.
$10,000
Yeah.
and your debt is $12,000, those creditors are going to come after that $10,000
So
that your estate is
if
worth.
you and Peter run up $20,000 of credit card debt,
Done.
and then you die in a horrific
Whitney did
mountain
that
lion
before
accident,
you finished that sentence.
Yeah.
Who do you think wrote this question?
Accomplished. Yeah, this is my question. I'm the mom.
Just wondering.
So like, and then you were to die in a mountain lion accident. Peter would
Accident.
say, okay,
anything with a mountain lion isn't an accident.
yeah,
I was trying
you
to pet
started
it.
it.
Unless you tripped over it.
Yeah, he was
Tripped
right
over
there.
a sleeping mountain lion
It was a
and tumbled
therapy
down a
mountain
mountain.
lion.
That's right. I was in rehab. So yeah, if you guys like, let's say you had life insurance something like that, and it was $20,000, they get that first. So they put a lien on all your assets. That's the first thing they do is put a lien on your house, on like your trust, like whatever, anything that can finance yours. There's a lien on it, and then they're getting paid first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I was
Which
just
is
wondering
why,
that listening
again, we
to
do
it.
not provide financial
No.
advice, but I am told by the internet
Yeah.
that you should create a trust. You put all your
Yes.
shit in that trust.
I've learned this too
and the trust
recently.
is different than you.
Oh, I didn't know it
And
was
that way, if
safe
you rack
for
up medical
baby.
bills or other shit, like,
Okay.
yeah, Whitney's broke. Like, go get all of Whitney's money. She don't have any, but the trust has the money.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no advice there, but
Also,
very
if you
good
sign
to
things over before someone dies, and we're not saying your mother is going to die
Yeah.
coming up. We don't know. We
just
don't know
sounds
anything
like
about
they're
that.
kind of 50s style. It's like they might be older,
Yeah.
but maybe not. Yeah.
But yeah, like if you sign things over, I know it's different if you sign things over before someone dies.
Yeah.
Like if there's property, for instance, if Whitney has property and she's getting ready to die, and she signs that property over to me before she dies.
But there's a rule on timing, I've
that's
heard.
yeah, it's all
It's very
I
particular.
just that's why I said I know it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know all the ins and outs of how it's different.
None of this is the answer to your question, right?
No,
But
sorry, I
now
was
I'm kind of
curious.
invested in it. The other answer is divorce. So like they say, like if you're like really hurting, like, oh shit, she's accumulating
yeah.
a lot of debt, like quick divorce her ass.
Yes.
And then one of you
Oh.
just owns all the debt and you sign off like all of it's mine, my debt, and the other one gets all the money and the assets. And now you've made one toxic person and you just contain the problem there. And then
Yeah.
they fake their own death by getting in a barrel and going over Niagara Falls.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are we ditching the mountain lion idea?
Fake your own death. The mountain lion will fucking kill you. You can't negotiate.
We're talking
Can't cut him in?
a trained mountain
trained
lion.
therapy mountain lion.
Oh, I apologize. That was silly of me not to assume
If
that.
you had read my memoir, you would know all about it.
I still kind of think I'm
Chin
right.
strap.
God damn it.
Should we do an intervention
See,
with
this is
person?
shitty. You guys don't like your fucking names, and mine makes me self-conscious, and this fucking sucks.
I love these
He's
names.
happy with
I
Craig
don't-
T. Nelson.
I don't know that
he
Dick
thinks
loves
it's
Dumbo.
hilarious.
I
Quack
don't-
is adorable.
I
You don't
don't
care about
love-
dumbbell.
I
It's
don't
celebrating
love
that you're
dumbbell.
strong. Chin strap is not flattering. Okay, this fucking sucks.
Oh,
I don't think
want
I
a
don't
goddamn
find Craig T.
recount.
Nelson flattering. Hey, I just want to point that out
It's a
right
cool
now.
reference. I mean,
I don't know that it is. It's a funny reference. I don't
let
know
me-
if it's a cool reference.
Let me just tell you
didn't he
that
turn out to be like weirdly
if-
political?
if
or something?
this-
Sure he is.
if this makes you self-conscious, be sure to tell the rest of us that it makes you self-conscious, and that'll get us to stop.
Good.
That'll
I'm
help.
glad
That's a
we've
good
all
helping
agreed.
way to-
Settle that
First
right
rule
now.
of bullying: let the bullies know that this bothers you, that they should stop, or I'm going to tell my mom. Which I fucking will.
Oh, I know.
She already
listening.
knows.
She knows, yeah.
She's on the way. She has called Jacob before and talked to him late into the night about the way he mistreats me on this show.
Oh, is that what she said we talked about?
She said she got her point across.
She sure did.
Anyway, back to this whole thing, Whitney. I'm
So-
sorry. We stole your voice on this
Oh
one.
no, that was my first question was just curiosity, but yeah, I mean, you mentioned Dad's not involved. It sounds like this is to a point where you need help.
Dad
is
gotta
what
get
I would
involved.
say. Dad, I don't know if you have
If not-
siblings.
if not
like, I
involved,
don't-
Dad has to be on board with whatever your plan is going to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Like at the very least, Dad has to sign
He's
off on it.
affected by this.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he has to sign off and support. If you come up with a plan, like Dad has to be in 100% compliance with that plan.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything goes out the window if that doesn't happen.
And dude, turn off overdraft protection.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She should have no credit cards.
So, okay, so this
turn
is,
off overdraft.
this is what I was thinking too, that I was not going to give
Financial
advice.
advice, yeah.
We're just going to continue to say that as we
Yeah.
give financial
That's
advice.
Lots of it. Yeah.
I think as long as we repeat it.
Just
Yeah.
say, I read on the internet that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing.
We're about to get over to me, and I'm going to start by saying, get yourself a financial advisor and take their financial
That
there you
advice.
is
go.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Good.
Because I think
Me too.
I
Will that
think,
stop her from spending money?
No, but I think a financial advisor will be able to give her advice
Oh.
on guardrails.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
I
so
don't think you get a financial
here-
advisor for Mom. I think you get a financial advisor
For her.
Yes.
Yes.
Writer.
But I think the writer from the financial advisor will get some advice on
Yes.
here's what you
Oh,
do.
Here's how you
Yeah.
stop
You turn
them.
off
Yeah.
overdraft protection.
Yeah.
You take these things away because what you have to do, it's like fighting a forest fire. Like
Right.
the first thing you have to do is containment.
We're digging some trenches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And right now there's no containment.
Dude,
Right.
you need to give this mom cash. Just be like, here you
Yeah.
go. This
and
is it.
This is what you got.
Take all the
this is what you
cards.
got for
You
now
got
until-
cash.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I would go
Yeah.
through
That's
a
gone,
financial
it's gone.
advisor. I would talk to that financial advisor about debt consolidation, getting all of these things together, start some negotiations with the credit card companies, do all of those things that you see ads on fucking billboards and park benches for. I mean, do them.
Do
Because
you?
I know people that have done them.
I've done it.
It hits your credit, like depending,
Absolutely.
especially depending on how you do it. It can really be a hit on your credit, which is why make sure your name isn't on a single piece of paper.
No.
And I mean any piece of paper at all, not just related to your mom. I mean,
Just no papers.
Yeah.
Ever.
fuck the paper.
Yeah. Fake your death.
You know what? Get rid of your name.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Change your name to none of
Boom.
your goddamn business.
Oh my God, that's really went off
Dude.
the rails.
Holy shit. He
Went off
broke
the
the system. He's Neo. He's fucking unplugged over there, dude. Just do what he wants.
Who's in debt? All I see on this piece of paper, it says no one.
Some sucker named Nick. I'm not him.
But here's the thing: they can work out of this.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually did the debt consolidation thing. So after the divorce, I had no home, I had no furniture because I didn't have a place to put it.
Right.
So I lost all of the furniture. I didn't have hardly anything other than my 2 dogs.
Right.
And then once I got
You
a
held
place,
on to that debt.
All right, that's it. You take the house. I'm taking the debt.
Yeah.
I'll be damned. I'll show you. Take that furniture. Get it out of here.
So then I ended up running up some. I didn't run up. I started with some credit card debt. It wasn't anything crazy, but I
You
got
didn't
to
have
a
double
point.
digits worth of credit cards.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't. I had like 3 credit cards. But then finally, I just did a debt consolidation thing. It actually cut down the amount I owed, probably by half.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the thing is they can negotiate
Oh,
with
yeah,
them, and
yeah.
they'll do all those things.
Yeah, and yes, your credit takes a hit, but within 2 years, my credit score was
Yeah.
higher than what it was before.
Yeah, because you are getting that
So,
stuff paid off as
exactly.
well.
Never hits
Yeah.
it as long as you think.
declare-
I feel like.
Yep.
Bankruptcy.
And even that goes away
It
after what,
does.
7 years?
Not
think
even.
that's
I
right.
mean, yeah, I had a friend who did that. I'm just kidding. It really was a friend who did that, and yeah, her credit. She was able to get like loans for stuff like
Okay.
pretty soon after.
Oh, yeah.
I
They're
mean,
always
like,
trying to get more credit in your hands. They don't
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
money if they're not lending it to people
Yeah.
that can't pay. Do we all agree you let go of the bathtub deposit?
I think so.
I think you let that go.
I mean, it
We're
depends
not-
on depends
we're
on how
not-
much more it
No
is.
finan-
We're not offering financial advice.
Talk to the financial advisor.
But yeah.
I think you let go of that. I think you eat that loss.
I
That's
think
3
at-
years ago.
I think
You
at the
don't feel
very
that
least
anymore.
you're prepared to let that go.
Yeah.
Because
I
mom
would
has probably forgot about
I would explore it a little bit, like find out what the additional cost is, all that kind of stuff, versus
Yeah.
what's already sunk into it. Like that's what I would do.
Yeah.
You need to pay off the debt that has
yeah.
a high interest.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like if it's like a safety thing, like because tubs can be dangerous.
Also,
for-
you might go back to the people and explain the whole situation
Yeah,
to them. Like
they
might take some pity on you
Yeah.
and give you a little chunk
Maybe
of that
get some
deposit
of it back.
Yeah.
yeah.
or do a payment plan.
Yeah.
You
You're like,
know?
could I get, here's what's happening. My mother is doing this. I'm trying to dig her out of this. We've got
Good luck.
we've
Yeah,
got
maybe.
debtors, creditors, all this stuff. We have a financial advisor. We're in all this stuff. I mean, you can try just tell them the old sob story. And
I think
see
if
they'll
I
take
heard
pity
that,
on
I'd be
you.
like, good, pay me up front. I'm not getting trumped over here. You know, freaking pay up.
oh no,
all
I mean,
at once.
I think that strategy is only if like, can I get some or all of my deposit back?
So, Ryder, first piece of advice, join AARP. Let me tell you, God damn, I saved so much money. It's insane. And they sent me a bag. I got a tote bag. It's really nice. I was going to take a picture to show you, but I thought you'd laugh at me.
I trust you. What?
You know, sometimes I get the feeling
Why
you just
would
make fun of me.
anybody on this show?
You're right.
We never
I
make fun
overthink
of
it.
you.
I'm just over
Easy CS.
Yeah.
Just trying that one on. I'm not sure if I love it
Feeling
yet.
it out.
Yeah, no.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
CS Jobin.
Yeah.
I mean, that could go on a business card.
Or it could be the letters after.
That could go on a T-shirt that looks like an official logo.
No, that doesn't sound like a good idea at all.
CS
I
Jobin.
really hope that doesn't happen. I like the idea of the boundary of self-protection to a strong point. Like what Jacob said, there is no world where I want Ryder to have any kind of commingled funds, name on any papers, taking control of things. Or honestly, Ryder, and this is a hard one to say, and I'm sure a hard one to hear, I don't want you paying out of your pocket to fix mom's problems.
Yeah.
I want mom, ironically, to experience the consequences of her own actions. That's what credit has done, is it delays the pain.
Yeah.
And so then you just keep digging deeper. You are now in a position to allow that rapid feedback loop of, oh, you overdid this. But it sounds like mom just doesn't give a fuck. Because she's, if you tell mom, like, oh, no, you made a mistake. Now you owe an extra $100. Mom's be like, oh, that's shitty. Okay, well, I already have 15 maxed out credit cards.
Yeah.
I have a credit card right now that does not have a limit on it. It doesn't have a spending limit on it.
Can I see it?
I assumed that if I went into a Maserati dealership and tried to buy a $500,000 sports car, I assumed that something would pop up and be like, maybe not.
There's only one way to find out.
There is.
Let's go.
I'm not going to find out.
Let's go to that sushi girl place first, though. I don't want to max this thing out on the first stop. Let's
you
kind of
didn't
work our
say-
way
You
up
didn't
to the
say I
money.
That's
had-
Whitney's
you didn't
card.
say I'd use
She's
my
good
card.
for the money, bro. She'll pay you back. It's fine.
Hey,
She doesn't have
Jacob,
the
can I
cool
borrow
no-limit card.
some money for sushi?
We gotta impress the sushi girl. She's not gonna do it. Okay, you gotta whip out that cool
What do you
Amex
think
card.
it is?
It.
It is laying upon the table and letting us dine on sushi.
No, but that card,
It's not weird,
that
Whitney. You're making it weird
terrifies me.
because you
That's my
wash on your
job.
debt.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my
Okay.
job.
I'd be afraid of losing it.
Is there an interest on the sushi debt?
I'm interested.
I feel there's an interest. I feel there's an accumulating interest.
I mean, I think we're just going to a nicer and nicer place.
I
every
think
week.
that's
I think the
exactly
longer
right.
we wait.
At some point, we're going to fucking Japan.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Well, then I'll save money because Jim's not going to Japan.
That's true.
So, yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Not a
actually.
chance in hell.
Spirit doesn't
She
go to
figured
Japan.
that out. Okay, first off, we're not flying Spirit. Okay, that's fuck that. Like that's obviously part of
I love
her
how-
burden.
Oh, okay.
But I
see-
also
see
will
what
not
you're
fly
saying.
because I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's
No,
Oh,
we
I
don't.
flew Spirit the other week. I forgot to tell you.
I won't even drive to
Ooh,
Chinatown.
what?
Yeah, we had to fly Spirit.
We had to.
That was the only flight that went at the time.
Yeah.
that we
Leaving
needed it to.
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, pretty much. Texas, so basically.
I went to Dallas on Spirit last weekend.
Oh, that's
too.
where we went. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
You
it
were in
was
Dallas
Dallas.
last weekend?
I think we were in Dallas at the same time.
Oh my
Everybody's
God. I think we
might have
too
been.
good
I was in
until
Fort
they
Worth,
see
I
those
guess,
smoking
technically,
deals. Did you check
No,
a
it was
bag?
the only flight that went at the time that we needed
Yeah.
it to go.
Dude, I'm not here to
And yeah,
judge
no,
you,
we
bro.
we did not have a check
You
bag.
don't need
we
to
had,
have an
we had carry on.
excuse. It's all right. We're both
Yeah, you only do
spiriters
the
here.
carry-on.
Okay, we're both
Yeah,
equally spiriters.
Carry on only. It was only 25 minutes late, which I feel like is in Spirit World is on time.
That's early in
Oh,
Spirit.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
They had us because the weather was raining. I landed and then sat right at the gate. The gate was like arm's reach away and sat there for 25 minutes. I was
This
like,
just reminded me
oh my
that in
God.
our Discord we have a channel called Out of Context and
Sorry.
just quotes from the hosts. And there's one from Jacob that says, "Please stop." What is it? Pegging me. And then he cuts to the Spirit Airlines host that says, "I'm sorry, we can't. The weather." Did you
The
guys
weather.
know?
I said that?
Yes, I posted
That's
a bunch
funny.
of inspirational quotes on our Instagram.
I saw it. I didn't read any of them.
Okay, hidden in them is Jacob quotes.
Oh.
So like I just posted a bunch of decoy like real quotes, and then there are like actual Jacob quotes from the show
Oh my
put on
God.
inspirational
Perfect.
fucking backdrops. I did not put the pegging one, but now I feel like I should have.
Yeah.
But he did have one that said something about oh shit, what was it? Something about Arby's is the Spirit Airlines of restaurants.
Oh,
Like,
I
that's
stand by that.
Fucking
Arby's is
deep.
delicious.
You hear that, and you're like, oh yeah, no, I get exactly what you're trying
Yeah.
to say. Another one was broccoli is the lesbian of vegetables.
That checks
Oh, I do
out.
remember that one.
I don't know what I meant by
I
that.
don't remember the context,
Yeah.
but I do remember.
Yeah,
I like
Go
the
to our
phrase. I don't know
Instagram.
what it means, but I like
It
it.
was really beautiful. I mean, I liked it anyway. What were we talking about? I think this person needed financial.
Because
Bathtub.
I don't like broccoli, but I do like lesbians.
Oh, there
So,
you go.
I mean, I don't know what I meant
Why
by
would
that.
you say that then?
That's what I'm confused about.
Here,
gotta
Whitney.
go
Read
find
read
it.
this Jacob quote. Isn't that pretty
Oh my
with
gosh,
the
look at that
forest?
lovely
It's
background.
beautiful. I made
and
it
the
on
way
Canva.
Jacob is written
Yeah.
out, beautiful.
Jacob Smith. audio.
Friendships like penises change over time and with age.
Yeah, yeah,
Aw, with the winding road through a fall
yeah. It's
landscape.
really good.
Looks
The
like
Jacob quotes are
Louisiana.
solid. Yeah, I'm really impressed how few people actually saw that I had done this.
I didn't see it. I
Damn.
missed it.
So anyway, Ryder, I hope that helps.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, I would. I mean, honestly, if it were me, I would lock all that shit down.
Number one.
Yep.
Like
Containment.
I'm the person, and that's why I say like Dad has to be on board.
Yeah.
because you either need some form of financial control in this situation, or you need to remove yourself from the situation. Would be that would be my
Gosh,
step
that's-
one.
It's tough to
Well-
watch people
Is there
drown.
any advice we can offer as
But if you can't,
therapists?
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
I was going to say that it feels like when loved ones are going through uncomfortability, we want to like save them from that. So kind of following up with what Jim said, you're kind of keeping your mom in that loop of being able to spend and not feeling the uncomfortability
Right.
because you love them and you maybe want to protect them from
Right.
feeling bad or discomfort or, like, I don't know what the consequences are where you live, but like in the United States, they can foreclose on your home or like bankruptcy, whatever. There are big consequences for those things, but I think trying your best to remove some of that emotion and really, really focus on what the facts are in this situation and what does your mom need. And I think that's hard to do with money to start with and to remove emotions or separate that some. But that's like the best thing
It's
I could
honestly,
say.
it's a
I
tough
don't know.
situation. And if the roles were reversed and we're talking about your child, burying themselves in credit card debt,
Yeah.
we would be giving very similar advice that has to do with boundary setting, the dignity of discomfort,
Yep.
the freedom to fail. And it's really hard to watch somebody, slip into this, but I think you're already doing a lot. You're trying to take the pilot seat. Mom is allowing that. Clearly, mom still needs a
Yeah,
lot
I'm surprised
of coaching.
she's allowing you to step in as much as
I get the feeling that, at least from the writing, I get this impression that mom is not necessarily being duplicitous.
Yeah.
Mom's just sort of naive.
Yeah.
I get that feeling.
Naive
and
or
but mom's
compulsive,
like, okay,
yeah.
honey, you can run this.
It also
And, like-
feels a little bit like mom is kind of saying like, yeah, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change my behavior.
I'm still going to do
Right.
things.
But you do whatever you want to do. And I mean that like she's saying that
Right.
with love and respect and,
Yeah,
and just
pay
like
the bills, thanks.
this is how I'm going to live my life.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Here's
said
the
you just
pattern.
want to know what my bills look like. This is it.
Yep.
There's a part of me that if I was in this situation, I would be taking this a little personal. And I would want to ask my mom, hey, what was your long-term plan with this debt?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is this obviously, I don't think that debt could then be handed down to like the next generation, but like,
Right.
I mean, I would still
Some
want to
can,
know.
though.
I know.
Some
and
types-
that's
That's why I
of
was
debt.
asking that.
Some types
Yeah.
of debt, I believe, are transferred to,
next of kin.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. But
asset debt, yes. So, like, if you're inheriting a house and there's a lien on the house, that's now your fucking house.
Yeah, you definitely have
The
that.
lien doesn't
that,
go away.
well, that
because
happens to
somebody else.
anybody who buys that house, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
same,
it's got
just
a lien
transfer
on it.
property.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would struggle with that from that emotional aspect of it because I would feel a little like kind of hurt, kind of like,
Yeah.
are you really truly this naive, or were you not paying attention, or do you not care how this is going to affect other people? In which case, if you did feel that way, then I think I don't even know if I'd bring it up.
So
You know,
yeah,
I
right.
would.
What's going to happen?
I would probably just let's go the financial counseling route. Get
Yes.
a financial expert in here. Let's just worry about containment. Let's get
Yes,
ourselves out of this
containment.
situation.
Yes.
And then maybe later on down the road, if I want to explore this
Yes.
emotionally, I can do it at that time.
That's
yeah.
a great
I wonder
point.
how long it's been going on for too. Like, is
Shoot.
this kind of a recent
I
thing in
was
the last
kinda
like
wondering that
5
too.
years?
Yeah, 3
right.
years.
15 credit cards.
3 years
Yeah.
for getting the deposit on the bath.
Yeah.
people?
Oh, yeah, so at least 3 years.
minimum.
But like, was this?
But no, I was thinking the same thing too. Like was this a learned behavior that she's had since she was in her
Oh,
20s?
it must be a thing.
You know,
yeah.
and then like,
How
and
long has
how
this
did
been going on?
how long has she been in the situation before and worked herself out of it already?
Oh yeah.
and then come back
back.
into debt? I don't know. Just a lot of interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
knew a
outs.
guy who, was it gambling? It must have been gambling debt, and had a lot of gambling debt, and a lot. I mean, like $50,000.
It's a lot.
So it's a lot
Yeah.
for
For some, yeah.
vast majority of
But
people.
gambling can go quick.
That's
up
it.
yeah.
And he refied his house or something. Like the housing market shifted, and the house that he owned gained some value or something.
Oh no.
And he was telling me about this, and at first I was like, that is great, because he refied his house. He wasn't that long into his mortgage. He was able to do it in a way that his mortgage people thought it was a good idea, and he was able to take money out and pay off those gambling debts, and he did.
Oh, okay.
He paid them
He
all
didn't
off.
chase it.
So he was at zero.
Wow.
Was.
Within like 3 months, he was back at neg 50.
Oh.
And I was like, you had it.
Yeah.
You like in the fucking movies. Like you were out.
You were out.
That is the story of every problem gambler.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Like,
And I was like, and this was like he didn't even catch a win streak or something like that and get real lucky. Like he just did the work and figured out like, oh, if I do this, I can get completely out of debt, and I'll keep paying it. I'll pay it in the form of a mortgage for the next 30 years.
But great terms.
That's it.
Long term, 30
years.
years.
Lot better than like Amex.
Yeah, right.
And then he was right back out because he was using all of his cash for gambling and putting all of his expenses on cards.
So I want to take a devil's advocate approach to this question. Number one, Jacob, you can't win if you don't play.
Okay.
So write that down.
Yep.
Okay. So your friend, standing on the shoulders of giants, I think.
Great advice.
Let's see if any of these slogans get put on the Instagram.
Number two.
Jacob's a doctor. Okay, he knows.
Well, yeah. I mean, I speak with respect, with all due respect.
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
Perhaps you've read my memoir.
The other move, clearly, you get mom to open up a shit ton more credit cards and give that money to you, and then you get everything put in a trust where you are the beneficiary, and you just let mom go down with the ship. Mom's got 15 cards. They're already up there in years. They don't care. They're not losing any sleep over this. You get their assets protected. You put your ass on it. All their debt stays with them. They open up as many credit cards as stupid capitalism will fucking give them, and they just give you just chests of fucking money, and then you bury that somewhere in the forest, and then you just let Father Time work it all out, and then after all the dust is settled, you go find your buried treasure, and then you just cruise off into that sunset.
it's at this time I'd like to remind the listeners that we're not offering any financial advice.
Yeah.
I'm offering treasure advice.
And if I were to listen to financial advice, I wouldn't listen to that financial
That
advice.
Mr. Jobin.
I'm just jealous you didn't think of it. That's what that is. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk
Financial advisor.
Definitely do that. Yes, also that. When we come back, we are going to talk about
The next letter.
The next letter, which is about anxious about joining in. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Smitty Scoop, Nathan's Hot Dog Scoop, Mason Miller, Tess Miller, Byler T, Paris, Team Monaco, Oscar Swanrose, Hannah Marie, and Emma Kane.
Hey, Emma joined the Therapy Producer Party.
Would you like to sponsor the show? Become a Therapy Producer at patreon.com/therapy. Okay.
Thank you, Emma. Also, you totally should have signed up under Tonka. That way, Tonka Truck, the pony. Also, the official pony of Pod Therapy. I feel like I can say that. I feel like nobody's going to fight that, right? All right, good.
Nope. I think you have to motion for that, and then we
I
Vote.
apologize.
Robert's Rules of Order.
That's how HOA
It's what separates us from the animals.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
If it's good enough for the HOAs,
Yeah.
it's good enough.
If
for
it's
Pod
good enough for
Therapy.
Tara West.
Absolutely correct. Also, Emma, please buy a Pod Therapy neckerchief and put that on your horse.
Aww.
Yeah, I want to see that happen because I don't know how big they get. I don't know if
Not that big.
horse
I was
neck
like, wow, I can see
Not
that.
many
Like,
dogs
don't-
with horse
Some-
necks.
I think that's just a
blanket.
beach towel.
Yeah, actually, we have that. Yeah, we have a blanket.
Buy your horse a blanket.
The horse gonna need a blanket.
I'll reach out to the manufacturer. Because like, hey, we've got I've got a beagle, but it's got a horse neck.
I need like a 2 foot,
it's mostly
18-inch
neck.
pizza diameter, please.
Something fucking big.
It's a big neck. It's got a little head on it. Couple legs.
Fucking rhino giraffe. Buy the blanket, Emma. I want to see this blanket on your horse.
All right, Whitney, you're up.
Let's decorate this.
No, I think Jim's up first, right?
No, because you missed the last one.
There were
and she
three.
stole
But Whitney
it.
went first last time.
Yeah,
Doesn't
So
it continue
he's saying
around?
you ought to rotate it for honesty.
because there was 3 questions.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can start with me this time.
all right.
So we start with Jim, and then
And
the
then at
last
the
round
end
we
of the
start
show,
with
you
me.
go
Okay,
to take it.
yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I can.
Cool.
We got 3 rounds, 3 people.
All right, okay, fine. Dangerously cheesy.
I would like to go second, please. That is
Dangerous.
Cheetos, my
Oh,
man.
yes.
It
I was
is
like,
Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Crunchy
Dang it.
Cheetos.
Damn, you guys are killing it.
Oh, bro, you don't even know what you've opened. Whitney and I could fucking go
know.
all day.
These next 2, I think you'll get.
Just bang
Okay,
shot
I
in
was
this
like, I
shit.
thought you were going to say they're hard. I'm like,
Because I
damn
need
it.
an easy one.
Jacob, obey your thirst.
Oh, come the fuck on.
Oh, that's one of several that are in my head.
Oh.
I know. I'm like stuck a little
Oh,
bit.
Whitney,
too.
really? You don't remember Obey Your Thirst?
I think I have a guess in my head.
Is that a soft drink or is that Gatorade? I think it's
Those are
Gatorade.
literally the 2 I was stuck
Is there a
with.
final answer?
Or is it Powerade?
Mmm.
Settle down over there, Chin Strap.
God damn it. See, his doesn't work. If I just call him Craig, that's just dumb.
No, you have to say Craig. You have to say the whole thing.
Yeah.
You can't
No.
use part of the code
It
name.
doesn't roll off the tongue.
Your code name has to be said in its
paragraph.
entirety. It's a code name.
T.
Chin strap.
Nelson. So dumb.
That's why I
T.
moved off of
Nelson is
CS.
on the move.
That's it. It's Craig T. Nelson every time. It's not funny if you just call me Craig.
This is Marine One. We have Craig T. Nelson.
Obey your thirst.
That's it. That's
Sprite?
Damn,
Got
that
it.
was my
Fuck
guess.
you.
Yes. I just had to say it out loud.
Yeah, I was
I
like
had to say it
Sprite
in
or
the right
Gatorade.
voice.
Sprite or
Yep.
Gatorade.
Yep.
Do you remember when
Damn.
they had like the Penny Hardaway commercials?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Penny.
Little Penny. Yeah, that's
Fuck
right.
yeah.
Those
That
were
was
the
cool.
Nike ones with Lil Penny.
Spike
Yeah.
Lee.
Yep.
That was
Penny
good.
Hardaway, who's the sidekick for Shaquille O'Neal on the Orlando Magic.
Yeah,
Yep.
buddy. God damn.
Those shoes were awesome.
Oh,
I
the
love
pennies?
those.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Awesome.
pennies were
Those are
good.
the best. Okay. Whitney.
Whitney.
Quackers.
Quack. You'll get the Fresh Maker.
Oh.
Fuck.
Raisin Bran. Final answer.
Mentos?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to sing the tune in my head. I was like,
Yep.
that is it, right?
I hated those commercials. Those were so
they were terrible.
dumb. She's like, I just robbed a
Better
bank.
Mentos.
Oh, but he's got Mentos. That's cool.
Better with Mentos, fresh and far alive.
Mentos, the Fresh Maker. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We did not have babysitters.
No,
We had
no baby
TV.
Okay, I feel like I already told this story before, but I always sing whenever Peter brings up pizza. I always start singing pizza in the morning,
Pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime.
If I were Peter, if my wife did that, when I said I'm going to order a pizza, and my wife did that, I would then make her eat a fucking pizza bagel.
Yeah.
I would eat it.
Right.
I'd be like,
yeah.
here's your fucking
Joke's
bagel
on
bites.
you.
Yeah.
I'm going to
That's
be over here with my
delicious.
I'd eat them all.
pizza. Here's
Pizza
your bag
bagels.
of bagel bites.
They're bad now, though, is the problem. So
They
I
were
sing
bad
that.
then, too. I hate to break it to
Yeah,
you.
no, they were good back
I don't
then.
think they've changed.
Y'all,
Cancer didn't exist back then. It was fine.
we have been dating together for like 17 years, and I have sung that. Literally within the last year, I was watching a show, and I brought Peter in to show him a clip of something, and that commercial was like on the show we were watching.
Going?
No, it was a show we're watching, and then on the show that it like played. It didn't play the commercial. It was just like within the show.
Just
I
in
don't
the
know how to explain
background.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was
Okay.
part of the show. And Peter's sitting and goes, "Oh my God, that's a real song." I was like, "Yes!" Again, he is like this weird sheltered
you
person.
just made it up?
I was like,
It's weird that he thought you made it up.
I know that I just randomly sing this song
Yeah.
for literally 17 years. I was like,
wow.
where do you think I get these things?
That's
I was
really
like,
funny.
television.
Peter's a young guy. Peter's not old.
He's not.
He's 18.
Is Peter our age?
He's legal.
He's just very sheltered. He's 41.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 41.
He looks good.
He does, right?
Really good.
Unless he's 18,
I
then he
know.
looks shitty.
Yeah, no.
He looks
I
road
just-
hard and put away wet
tell-
if he's 18 years old.
I just-
If he looks 41, he
18
looks
years.
great.
Yeah, 41 fine.
41, he looks great. He looks great for 41.
Holy shit.
I just tell everyone he's 50.
Kid's been smoking since he was 5.
Yes. So I love these 90s commercials.
Oh, I'm
like,
all
go
about
on.
it. So I just want to get out there now and just say, everybody in the audience, if you're part of the Discord, please send more of these to Nick.
Yes.
Because if you do the work for him, he'll just go ahead and keep this shit going. And I would love to
I
keep
would
this shit
love
going.
this. There's so
Yeah, I want these all day.
Here's the thing, though. The 90s ones are really easy. I picked the
Yeah.
hardest ones I could find.
Oh, because
What were
And
easy
some
ones?
of these are incredibly easy.
Dude, they're all so easy.
What did you think was like an easy one?
Crossfire, you'll get caught up in the crossfire.
Yeah.
That game was
Crossfire.
terrible.
Oh, fuck you, dude. Crossfire was
That
I
game
amazing.
don't
was
remember
shit.
that.
It was like a tabletop game.
No,
with
the fucking
marbles.
point was not
Where's the
crossfire.
beef?
You break the
Yeah.
gun
Oh.
off the
That was
table, and then you just fire the
well,
fucking
that's
metal
fine.
balls at your friends.
That doesn't
That was the
negate my
game.
statement of that
Oh, no.
game was shit.
You were using it wrong. The devices were good. What did you just say, Nick?
Where's
Where's
the
the
beef?
beef? That
Yeah.
was
Where's the
another one.
beef? That's like 80s?
I don't know that one.
It was late 80s, early
Okay.
90s.
Yeah.
I
I
was like, I
only
don't
am
know.
aware of it because Ronald Reagan said it in a debate.
What is it
Yep.
for? Just
It was Wendy's.
oh,
The old lady, there was like a commercial where they
Okay.
go, "Oh, come to Bob's Burgers, home of the biggest bun," and then they open it up and there's like a little teeny tiny slider amount of
Some
beef, and the
old
old lady's
80s
like, "Where's the beef?"
Oh, it's like eat more
Wendy's
chicken.
has the beef.
Yeah.
Eat more chicken. What's that?
Yeah, across from the Chick-fil-A on West Flamingo is a Parkway Tavern, and they just took an entire fucking billboard on the side of their bar that just says "drink more beer" and in like the chicken
Nice.
scratch
And the
writing.
chicken.
Yeah, it's
With the cow.
fantastic. Just pointing at the Chick-fil-A.
That's funny.
Just so aggressive. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Okay.
All right,
fair.
so where are we at with scores? You and I are still tied?
Yeah.
I think we're 2-2.
Yeah.
And I've got
Jacob
one.
got one.
2-2-1.
Jacob got
Yeah.
one.
All right, I like it.
Nice
yeah.
job,
send
Jacob.
infinity more of these to Nick. Bonus points if you send YouTube videos with the actual ad that somehow
For
we
our
can just
audio
play.
podcast.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Good idea.
if it's an audio clip, these are all jingles, man.
That's true.
Yeah, we can do it. Anxious about joining in from Eli. Hey guys, I've been trying to overcome something for a while now and thought I might as well ask the masters. I'm 26 years old, female from Wisconsin. I found your podcast 3 years ago when I typed a random question into my podcast app, and you guys happened to have answered a question about something
God, I wonder what that
I
question
know.
is.
I'm going to need to know what that question
we
was.
100% need to know what that was. 100%. I love that that's how people find it. It was like when Nick and I started this.
Which mental health podcast uses the C word the most?
Yeah. Which transcripts just reveal the word cunt?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want that mental podcast.
Yeah.
I remember when we started this and we were playing with different titles. And when we decided on the name Pod Therapy on the way to recording the first episode, because originally it was going to be Sin City Shrinks, and then we record the first episode and we start like getting all of the handles right then. We're like, oh shit, we need Pod Therapy. It's gone on Twitter. Just get Pod. And then Nick was PodTherapyGuys at Gmail because that made sense at the time. Sorry, Whitney. And so then we got that on
non-gendered guys.
Twitter. And we got Pod Therapy on Facebook. But as we were doing this, we were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if people searched the word therapy? Maybe they'll find us. Because all the other therapy shows were like Esther Perel's Deep Thoughts or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like you just wouldn't have known in the lineup that is a mental health show unless you knew who that person was. And over the years, the random people who have said, I typed in the word therapy, or the fact that we title all of our episodes references to the questions has turned out to be a great feeder program to actually get some support.
Nice.
We've really succeeded in a lot of ways that we didn't intend to.
Nice.
We just
Mastermind.
We just kind of stumbled into this.
Yeah, it's so funny when we were interviewed by these Bulgarian podcasters in like college, and they like have done this beautiful studio, and they're looking at us and they're like, hey, you guys are like established. How did you get this massive audience? And we're like,
You're like,
oh, we made friends with successful people, and they just
Networking.
decided to let us be successful too. And that's our whole strategy. Thanks for coming to the TED Talk.
Yep.
Make friends with people who are better than you at things, and maybe they'll let you be part of that. End scene.
Ice Cream Social still takes Penn Jillette at the end of every episode.
There you go. We think our landlords, man.
Yes.
At least
Yes.
Ice Cream Social at the end of every episode. And whatever show we mentor will thank us, hopefully. I was hooked instantly and have written in twice. Both times you guys gave me amazing advice and many laughs. Eventually, I figured I better check out Ice Cream Social
yeah.
because I had no clue what anybody was talking about whenever it was brought up. I became hooked on Ice Cream Social
good.
as well.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Could have ended a different way.
Usually does. My problem is I have a really hard time trying to get into / make connection with other people in both communities. Everyone seems so nice and so welcoming, but I get nervous feeling like the new kid at school. I made a goal this year to get more involved with the Discord community, but so far it's not been going well. In real life, I'm super outgoing and I have no problem making friends, so I don't know why this is so hard for me. It might be because you guys are celebrities to me. Like when I found out Jacob and I share a birthday, I was so happy. I told all my family. Not that anyone cared. And when Jim messaged me on Discord, I thought I was going to have a panic attack. Sorry for sending you that dick pic, but I'm glad that it left you a little. That's how I greet people. As soon as they join the Discord, it's tasteful.
It's a picture of Richard
Whose
Dixon.
dick pic is it?
Well, you know, that's part of the fun.
Oh, okay.
You know,
It's a
is it
surprise.
Whitney's dick? You don't know.
You don't know.
I'm just not sure how to get past my anxiety and jump right in. I want to be able to go to the next Scoop Fest, but thinking that I'm going to travel all the way there to not know anybody and be stuck on the outside the whole time is my worst nightmare. Any advice on how to get more involved with the Pod Therapy people and the Scoops would be great. Thank you guys for all that you do, Ellie.
I thought this was about to be like a life question, which is harder than theropods and scoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fun. But okay, so I think Jacob, it's been a long time since he remembers days before he was famous. We relate to this. We relate to feeling like outsiders and being like, holy shit, is it like an imposter syndrome thing? Should we really be here? Like it's a weird feeling whenever you're trying to join the community. But you were already part of the Scoops. Like so history lesson since we're on the topic, and nobody asked, but I don't give a fuck. Nick is the reason that we are friends with Ice Cream Social, because Nick was just a listener of Ice Cream Social. Like wrote in questions, super like just involved. You had for years been trying to get me to listen because we have the same taste in podcasts, generally speaking. And we were just coworkers. We'd go to lunch. You'd be laughing. You'd tell me some jokes you just heard on the way there. And I'd laugh along with you. And you'd be like, bro, you have to check this thing out. Like, I'm going to send you a link. But every time I went to listen to Ice Cream Social, there is no primer on Ice Cream Social. You just hang out until you get it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I remember starting a few episodes where I was like, man, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
They're continuing a story from some other point, and I'm not sure what's happening, and I'm trying to linger. And I just kind of felt
we
like...
try to be better about that now.
Yeah,
that was one specific thing.
Defense,
we try to be better
it was
about that
7 years ago.
Yeah.
This was 7 years ago, 8 years ago, probably.
We still continue the story, but we try to fill in the
If
potential
you're
blank
just
spaces.
joining us,
Yeah.
this
Like
is
each
what's
time
going
we
on.
do it now. Yeah.
Yeah, gotten much better at it. But that's the reason we got connected to the show, was that we started our show and Nick was like, oh, these guys welcome people to write in trivia. Let's write in one for, mental health, and let's see what they want to do with it. Sent it in. They had a great time with it. They were like, oh, who the fuck are these guys? Looked us up. They're like, oh, actual therapists in our community. We're super pro mental health. Let's just get these idiots on here and we'll just, have fun with it. And the rest is history. And now here we are. I don't know what any of that had to do. Oh, outsider. I remember being feeling like, okay, Nick is like actually attached to this. He knows what the fuck's going on. And I had no clue. But like when you try to hang out with ICS, if you're on the podcast, they are jumping into comedy. Like that they're there to entertain. Like the whole thing is fun. And you're trying to like roll with it, but you have no idea what's going on. So you mostly just hold on and just wait for somebody to speak to you. And that's my advice for coming to Scoop Fest.
And people will speak to you.
They will speak to you.
I feel like we went, I don't remember I think you were at the table with us, Nick, but I don't know if you were in another conversation. But at Scoop Fest this year, we were all at the bar after or whatever, and there were two guys that were ICS listeners, and they were talking about how they had met through something else, like in their state. Found out they both listened to Ice Cream Social, like
that's
separately.
Awesome.
And so one of them's like, I'm going to Scoop Fest. You should come. And the other one's like, well, I don't really know anyone there. And I kind of just met you. Like, I don't know you that well enough to be like, let's go together or whatever. But he ended up.
That's such a Scoop thing to do, to be like, well, why don't we just room together?
Yeah.
But I just met you. That's fine.
I know. The other guy's like, well, you should still go. So the newer guy was like, well, okay, I'll pull the trigger. I'll go. So they show up a day before their buddy who was already planning on going and all this. And he said he was nervous for the same reasons this writer is writing in about. They were like, I don't know anyone else. The one person I do know is still back in our state for another day or half a day or whatever. And so he showed up and he said within 30 minutes, he had like connected with people and was like, the other guy showed up the next day and he was like, oh, you're good. Like you didn't even need me. Like I could have never even, come and you'd have been good. And that was like so heartwarming to hear. And it's very true. It's so overwhelming and intimidating to think about going into a big group environment.
Yes.
And just, I don't always know exactly what's going on, or I may not know a specific person. But then they just find you and you make those connections like easier than you think.
Yeah. With this group of people in particular.
Yeah.
It is unique.
It's very unique.
That's why I was happy that this question was this group. And
Jacob's going to be the master.
Writ large.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was tickled as hell this year at Scoop Fest because we asked on I think it was just the last day during the Penn Sunday School or the Ice Cream Social podcast, the live podcast. I think somebody, it might have been me, I really don't know, just said like, show of hands, who has never been to a Scoop event before.
Yeah.
And about a third of the room had never been to any type of Scoop event before. Not just Scoop Fest, any type of Scoop gathering. And I mean, we say it all the time, and it's easy to not believe us because we have a vested interest in you believing that that you can just come to these things solo.
Sure, yeah.
You can
Right.
just come to Scoop Fest solo. You can come
yeah.
to a pod therapy, dinner, solo. You can do all of these things solo, and you will just get swept into the community whether you want to be or not, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if you actively try to not be in the community,
Good luck.
then you will only deal with the people who are concerned about you and looking in on you.
Yeah.
And there will
Now
be a
they're
lot of
checking
them.
on you. Yeah. No, this is one of the things that I've enjoyed most about the podcasting medium compared to, because none of us have just posted one episode that suddenly caught fire in the world, was super relevant, and now tens of thousands of people who never heard of you before suddenly join the bandwagon.
Right.
There's this matriculation.
By the way, think of
podcasting.
what a different type of celebrity Joe Rogan would be right now if he hadn't
Yes.
interviewed Barack Obama.
Is that where he broke?
That his listenership like quadrupled in a
Wow.
day.
Wow.
That was pre Spotify signing. That was pre all of that. Like he was recording a podcast in his garage,
Wow.
and literally like got Barack Obama. I think after his presidency, but that'd be during Trump, and that seems awfully late. So maybe
bet you was-
during.
Well, it would make sense because Barack was doing a bunch of tours to get the healthcare.gov thing going.
Yeah, he might have been.
He showed up on like Between Two Ferns, like he
Yeah,
was
this
doing a
might have
bunch of
been
things.
before. This might have been while he was in office. It might have been like sitting president Barack Obama on his podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, it launched him into the like
Different
A different
level.
the
level,
layer
yeah.
that he is in now.
Nick, did you write to Barack Obama?
Every day.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I asked
Barry,
you
come
one
on the
thing.
show.
Yeah.
Get trivia ready, write to Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Every day.
Two small requests.
There was a podcast, I won't speak of it because they've gotten some controversy. But this was a show that I discovered because during a very tumultuous Trump news cycle, they had a very specific episode that was very relevant and very interesting. And suddenly they were number one on Apple Podcasts. Everybody that was of that particular political persuasion discovered them. Before this, they were talking about like fucking baseball shit, and then all of a sudden they were huge in politics. And I was following them and like fell in love with it and like really was invested in it. But it's interesting how most mediums that are content creating, if you blow up, I don't think you get to preserve your community culture.
Yeah.
Whereas podcasting like this is like this person just randomly searched for something, found us, started listening, eventually was like, oh, they keep pitching this Patreon thing. Fuck it. I'll throw a buck in the hat and explore it. Took the 2 seconds to type in a credit card number, joined the Discord, sees that it's a super active community where they're discussing everything. They're poking fun at us. There's ongoing jokes. There's like a real community. And now they're like, holy shit, there's like a real group of people. Now they're meeting in Las Vegas. I want to be a part of that. They have this mentor podcast. I want to be a part of that. And it's interesting because the culture matriculates at like one at a time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's any other medium that grows at that rate where you get to preserve your culture.
And we tried. We tried to expand rapidly.
You did.
Over at ICS. Like we hired publicists. We did all of those things.
Okay.
And it just didn't work.
It's hard to make it work.
It just growing a listener at a time, what we call the obelisk scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has truly been our best growth tool.
Yeah.
And it's because of that that the community is awesome. Because the community, and I'm including Pod Therapy in that community as well.
You find the right people that
That's
way.
it. It is a self-selecting sample at some point there.
Yes.
People who aren't awesome just don't get invited to the party.
They just don't come. They don't, it doesn't appeal to them.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of, I don't know how you feel about this, Nick. I'd be curious about this. When we first started the show, if you go back, Jacob joins us in episode, I think it's 42 off the top of my head. There's 52 episodes in a season, Whitney. As one would expect.
Okay.
So this is season 1.
Checks out.
If you do it the right way.
If you do it
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
The logical way. So
1,000
Jacob
episodes in a
joins
season.
us episode 42-ish, so back end of first season. When we started the show, we had embraced some comedy. We just enough banter that you can squeeze out of Nick and I in a room by ourselves, trying to answer questions. We had no trivia. We were just like
The golden era of Pod Therapy.
also known as the unsullied time.
Yeah. Just wait till those chapters in all of our memoirs.
Yeah,
So, yeah, thank you. Yes, there should be a Pod Therapy memoir at this point, 7 years in. So in those first 40-something
So much
episodes.
funnier when he says it.
Look, I'm not convinced it's wrong. Okay,
I love it.
never
Go
are.
on.
memoir.
You are seldom convinced that you were wrong.
I bet you there's a lot of people going, Jim's right. Like, fuck the French.
Sure.
But when we started it, there was some attempt at being, I think we were trying to get the energy, I wouldn't even call it straight up comedy. We were trying to capture banter at a time when there just wasn't much banter in the mental health space. And that was the whole premise of the show, was like, oh, what if we did a show similarly to when we're just buddies watching football after work and we're just two male therapists hanging out at a bar and people find out what you do and they come make conversation with you and it becomes very light and people, started being interested in mental health and otherwise probably wouldn't have been. And that was really cool because we were able to present it a certain way. Then Jacob joins and we get absorbed into the Ice Cream Social ecosystem or orbit. Just because when the Scoops find something they like, they're like, fuck you, you're ours now. And so like we just became a suburb and like we were like, oh, and I remember, and I'm curious what you think about this, Nick. I remember going through, now it was new to me because I was still trying to figure out what ICS was, what the culture of their show was, what the vibe of their comedy was, because they had a very unique flavor. They were irreverent, they were comfortable being blue, they would throw out all sorts of crass shit, but then they were like, progressive politically, generally very kind, never punch down, and generally advocate for groups that usually 3 white, cis, straight comedy white guys, are going to shit all over. And like, they were like, nope, we fucking love trans groups. We love, LGBT. And so like, it was a very unique take on comedy that took me a while to like fully absorb to figure out who they were as a group. And at the time we were still building Pod Therapy. And I remember going through an era where I was trying to figure out who is our audience? Because all of a sudden we just absorbed a shit ton of people. And now I'm trying to create a show that basically appeals to the group that just adopted us. And I spent a period of time trying to figure out what they wanted to see or hear. And so they were writing in and giving us feedback. And there was this feedback loop for a while where we were getting notes. Like we'd get criticisms, we'd get ha-has, and like we'd be feeding off that. The new questions were flooding in from the Scoops. What are they interested in? What kind of questions are they asking? And I remember going through like a transformation time of figuring out what is Pod Therapy now that this has happened. Did you experience that at all?
Kind of, but probably a little bit differently than you did. No, I think I just kind of noticed that like as far as like the feedback goes, like our listeners were very good at like giving us information, just like, hey, I know you didn't mean this. I know you're just stupid, but just FYI.
Yeah, always
There's a
super
better
nice.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, always super nice.
I mean, over at
And so-
ICS, that's what we fucking lived on.
Yeah.
Still live
Yeah.
on it. I mean, it's just like nice people telling us how we're wrong.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
In very
Yeah.
nice ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always assuming you're a good person
Yeah.
who's trying
Just telling
their
us that
best.
we're wrong.
Yes.
And there was some feedback that like it was all useful and
Always.
yeah. And so it was nice in that sense. But I already kind of had an idea of what our listener was, having already been in that orbit.
You knew it already. Yeah.
I know that.
Tuned in.
Yeah, I can picture who our listener is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I remember going through
But-
a process where I was very much studying Jacob's version of comedy and trying to say, okay,
That's dangerous.
it is very dangerous.
Jacob,
no, I
what
went
is
through
that?
it. I went through
I
a whole
don't know.
period of, okay, we're still trying to be this therapist show, but now we have this like expert fucking comedian and his audience has found us and we want to appeal to them. He knows how to appeal to them. They're here for him to start. So like it became this question for me of like,
But-
learn how he's making humor, try to borrow where you can and still do therapy stuff.
I agree
it
with
became
Nick that that's a
whole
bad
fucking
idea.
Frankenstein of like trying to figure out what we are after that, which was great. It turned out great, but in the beginning, I remember being like very conscious, like, okay, here we go again. Like I'm gonna try to figure it out this time.
I think the difference, though, maybe for me, I'm not actively trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not actively trying to. Okay, what do they want? Let me give them what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more just like, okay, here's what I am.
Yeah,
Here are my thoughts.
Yeah.
If you're into this, cool, keep listening.
Yeah.
If you're not, then this isn't for you.
Let me
And that's
introduce you
fine.
to an obsessive need to be liked.
Call it a people
Let me see if I can pitch this
pleaser.
for you.
Okay.
Anxiety plays a huge part in this.
Shut up, quack. You're new.
This is the
Talk to us in
projection
season
coming.
3. But yeah, it is an interesting culture. And like, you know, Ellie, I appreciate your point that it can be intimidating when you're on the outside looking in. I think we're all trying to reassure you that it's such a kind community.
Yes. Point number 2 is that I think we need to acknowledge the difference between online communication and online community versus in person.
Yeah.
Because, Ellie, I'll be honest with you, I would share the exact same feelings about being online, my online presence.
You're a lurker. You're a lurker
absolutely.
when they were streaming live on Twitch.
Yeah.
You would not comment in the chat. You would text Jacob.
Yeah, I would just text Jacob directly.
Text his phone.
I did that once.
I would be in the chat talking to everybody, watching Ice Cream Social, our buddies in the studio, and then all of a sudden I'd see Jacob on live Twitch look at his phone and then look up and go, "Hey, Nick from Pod Therapy just asked us this," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And I'd go in the chat and be like, "Nick, are you here right now? Like, where are you?" You're like, "No," and then you text me and be like, "Shh, I don't know I'm here."
But part of that is because where you have anxiety about your things, I also have anxiety just a little bit about just online communication and how things are written.
Yeah.
When I send an email, like, okay, so I've been emailing, I got a couple things in the, got a couple sticks in the fire for some deep dives coming up that I'm organizing.
Cool.
And so I've been in contact with these individuals about collaborating. And so this is just fresh on my mind.
Barack
so I've been
Obama?
sending emails. Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Thank God.
Yep. Not the former president. This guy in Baltimore who shares the same name.
Spelled
That's
slightly
fine.
different.
Do.
Buddy, you're preaching to the I'm sold.
So anyway.
Yes.
The title will sell everything.
That's fine.
But like, I'll send an email, but before I send that email, I got to reread it.
Yeah.
And then, no, I don't like that. So then I fix it.
Yeah.
And then I go to hit send and like, well, I got to reread it one more time. And I just get stuck in this loop of an email taking me 30
Print
minutes.
it, you hand it to Laura, give her whiteout.
But so anyway, that's like with Discord, I communicate on there a little bit every once in a while.
Start in pod therapy.
That's the
where
best
you need
channel.
to start
It is.
because it's just precious
Well,
in there.
right now, the hottest channel is the episode for Emma, the Emma Equine Therapy, where it's just smushed with photos of Tonka Truck.
Oh, let me go see.
There's videos and photos of her horse, and he's eating ice cream.
As she's therapizing
He's
it.
wearing a hat. Yes.
I assume that's what equine therapy
No, there's
is.
that's 100% what it is. There's a photo
Giving
of
therapy
two
to the
chairs
horse.
in a horse like pasture thing, and just the horse standing there, and she's like, "And this is equine therapy. Let's go." And just like, "Yep, he's just hanging out."
What's the second chair for?
The horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a big chair.
One's for the therapist. Yeah,
By the
exactly.
way,
It's a huge
every
chair.
time on that episode, every time she said she was describing people in the community, in the equine community, and she would say horse people. I just pictured
100.
like BoJack Horseman, like
Yes.
half horse, half person.
So I just
Horse
hope you'll take
people.
a second to appreciate. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, I know.
The whole time.
And you showed great restraint.
Thank you. Yes. Motherfucking Teresa over here. The temptation I resisted to stay serious in the face of words like horse people. Or she would say things like, "I've been a horse person since I was 10 years old." And I'm just, you
Not
just
once.
imagine me.
Not once.
Yeah, just sitting there.
I've been a horse person since I was 10 years old. I was bitten by a radioactive horse.
Oh, buddy, I had 10. I had 10 leads just ready to go and just sat there like a gentleman and talked about equine therapy.
They're so pretty.
I know, they're super cute. But anyway,
So
we digress.
Ryder, I hope that helps.
So obviously, Patreon audience who's on Discord, I think you know what to do. I think that obviously in this episode, we're inviting Ellie to jump in, to say hi to everybody. So Ellie, we expect you to put up a nice GIF waving, kind of image to us. And we're going to open up conversation with you. But several things you're doing here, Ellie, that I really appreciate. You're taking those baby steps that you got involved in the Scoop universe. You got involved with us. You got involved in both Discords. You started making friends, like trying to like just put your toe in there. I know with online stuff, it can be hard because sometimes like all we can really do is click like.
Yeah.
Or like offer a heart. And it's like, I don't have something novel to really add to the feed.
Jim likes memes.
I do. I'm a big fan of memes. I'm a
They're
big fan of
they're well
GIFs.
done. Oh yeah, the gifts.
My
too.
gift game is on point. Thank
Yeah,
you, Whitney.
it
I
is.
really needed that
You're
because this
welcome.
chin strap thing is
There's
cutting
your
me down.
people-pleasing
It's been really
validation.
dark.
Wait till you see the chin strap meme that people
It's
put
a
out.
cry for help.
There's
I mean,
a
just
zebra.
Oh my
it's-
God. T-shirt
zebra.
ideas all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
he pitched
flooding
several
through
to
my
you
head.
earlier. He was on point. Fuck, I was hoping nobody heard it, but then I just brought it up.
You sure did. Weird.
God damn it.
I want to do an outline, just his face, but just the outline. So you see the hair, the glasses, and then just the chin strap beard.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool.
Solid.
I don't feel like that's fair. I feel like I have an Amish beard.
And another word for an Amish
That's-
beard could be
No,
why would that be?
chin
They don't believe in
strap
chin
beard?
straps.
Chin
Why would
strap.
They don't have straps of any
How
kind.
did you interpret that as a
Defense?
better?
As an upgrade?
Or as a
100%.
change at all.
Looking back, I feel like I have some regrets.
You just don't have a reason like they do. I think it's a silly reason, but it's
just-
still at least a reason.
Really just reaching for something better than the chin strap thing. When I think of chin strap, I think of that dude from like Backstreet Boys. Like,
As you should.
yeah, like it's pencil. Like that's you're drawing it in. Like,
Jim, let me explain something to you. Chin strap is so much better than it should be
okay.
because people are focusing on your terrible chin strap beard
Here we go.
instead of your terrible
Uh-huh.
mustache.
I feel like you're throwing back to season 3.
Your mustache
All right.
is much worse
We've
than your
moved on
beard.
from season 3.
So what do you suggest is a better code name?
I mean, I think Stashy.
Wispy?
Stachio.
Pistachio.
Mario.
Yep.
Mario's good.
Patchy.
I think you can just call him
Patchy.
Mario. I think any of this is fine.
Oh,
Just
fucking Mario.
patches.
Patches.
Patches. Oh, Whitney. Oh, you bitch. Oh, you got me.
You're welcome.
Oh, no.
You could do
get.
Oh,
like
you horrible,
like now,
horrible
now
woman.
that you've raffled off the minifigures, the pops, you could do stashes need cashes.
Oh, there it is. Raising cash for stash.
Yep.
That's if Jim ever like breaks my leg or something and I'm out of the game for a minute. Anyway, Ryder, I love.
By the
that
way,
you-
there is a Patreon level. I'm going to establish it right now.
here we go.
It is 50% higher than where the Patreon is as I'm saying this. When we hit that,
Whatever the
Jim will
50%.
shave his mustache.
Oh no, Jim needs to lose.
Oh, I want the whole beard.
Okay, look,
Shave
Double
the
it.
whole thing.
I need
Double
to
it,
lose-
shave the whole thing.
I need
Okay,
to lose
double the
30
Patreon.
pounds.
Yeah, double the Patreon. Jim
Right
shaves
now?
the whole
No.
thing.
If I lost 40 pounds, I would just shave it all. But I got to get rid of some weight. Like right now, the beard covers a multitude of sins. Stop staring at me, all three of you. I'm just really uncomfortable.
which
right now.
area?
Whitney, you look over there.
No.
Okay, no, you look
I
away.
can't stop staring at the
you've
patches.
been mean. Okay, you've been really
I'm
mean.
just trying to figure out what sins you think the beard is covering.
Fuck all of you. It only gets worse. It only gets worse. That's what I'm talking about. It only gets worse. It's
Trying to think
all
what problems
downhill.
you think that we don't notice right now.
God damn all of you.
Jacob's brutal.
You know what, Ellie? I have new notes. Fuck this community. They're all mean. They're monsters. They're just bullies.
Ellie,
all
just
of
comment
them.
on Jim's beard and mustache.
A significant
That's a
portion
great
of
way
our
to
audience.
break into the
Yeah.
break into the community.
You'll do well there.
That has brought that's the
I mean,
door many people have entered through. Is like, fuck Jim, right? Like, yeah, fuck that guy. It's funny because there's like a handful of self-pronounced Jim apologists who are like, no, we will stand guard. We will stand at the door.
I love
We'd
them.
be like, you know what?
Love
He's
them.
trying his best.
And you only call
leave him
them
alone.
busy.
Oh, thank you, Ellie. We needed that. That was a lot of
That
fun.
was good.
Thank you for joining our community. And
Dive in as
enjoy
much
all
as
of
you
it.
want to dive into it, but you can absolutely dive in confidently, both feet first.
Yes.
The water is warm.
Yeah, you will be just fine.
Just great
in
people.
either or both communities.
Yeah, great people, just super curious. I love
And if you're
going
not,
to Scoop Fest.
you let me know.
You know what's fun about Scoop Fest too is I don't know if you two experience this, but every Scoop Fest I've gone to, somebody will walk up to me and go, "Hey, are you Jim from that pod something?" Like, yeah, like pod therapy. Like, okay, cool. And then they'll say something to the effect of, "Yeah, I'm not into it or whatever, but I guess a lot of other people are. So I'm glad you're here, man." I'm
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. This year it was Don Poseidon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he was talking to you
Yes,
and me.
you and I
we were
in
at the
that
character
line,
thing. He goes,
yeah.
are you guys from the pod therapy thing? We're like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. I don't listen to it, but I'm glad you exist. And
Yeah.
please keep doing what you're doing. There
you go.
A lot of my friends seem to really benefit from it. Like, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Are you Don Poseidon? Like the Poseidon?
The
Don of
Sir?
Poseidon? Big deal.
And I'll tell you what, because you said like you're intimidated when Jim sends you a message and everything on there. Yeah, if I send you a message, if you say something to me, like I'm gonna reply to you.
Yes.
Not in the Discord because I don't know how to work the Discord.
Yeah.
But if you tag me in something on Discord,
look.
I'll usually see. Yeah, I'm not against the Discord. I'm just not really on it. But if you send me a message on social media, like on X or one of those things, and it's
MySpace,
whatever,
Friendster.
yeah, any of those. If you send Ice Cream Social messages, like we'll just reply to them. We're just people, and yeah, like don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy about it. If you have something you want to say to us, say it.
It is interesting the effect of like the celebrity shock thing, where you first met a human through their platform,
Right.
and then you encounter them and you realize, oh, the platform's not some highfalutin thing. It's just this very experienced Vegas showman who knows how to wire a bunch of shit together. And it's on a table, and there you go. These guys are just talking into mics, and he bought them at, fucking Guitar Center. Like, it's not that high level, but like, because that's your first encounter with them, it is still like intimidating.
And we are aware, on the Pod Therapy end and on the Ice Cream Social end, we are aware that you know us better than we know you.
Right.
We know that is a weird relationship and a weird place to start a relationship.
Yeah.
When you walk up to me the first time you meet me at the next Scoop Fest, and you start talking to me, I am aware that you've listened to me for hours and hours of your life. I mean,
you may know personal stories, like,
Exactly.
oh, how's your dog?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You know things
like
about my
between
life.
Ice Cream Social and Pod Therapy, there's probably something like 3,000 hours of me talking on the internet.
That's
I mean, it's insane.
That is a lot.
So like, yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
I don't know you, but you know me.
But we're also used to that.
Yes.
Yeah. So when people
I'm
come up and
aware
say,
of it.
what's
I'm
up,
not
man?
used to it, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah. They come and say, hey, man, I'm a big, I've been listening for this long. Love the show. Great. And then our first question is, where are you from, man? Who are you? Like, I want to get to know you now.
Yeah.
That's it.
A good example of this for me, and then I'll end the show, was we during Scoop Fest, people set up these like spontaneous hangs, and one of them is at Golden Tiki. And I met Kevin Chamberlain and his wife, and they were lovely. And I just happened to sit down at the bar waiting for the Scoop event to start. And then he and his wife are just sitting there next to me, and he leans over and goes, hey, man, are you Jim? And I'm like, oh, yes. Hi, who are you? And he's like, what's up, bro? I'm Kevin. Like, oh, my God, you're a therapy producer. It's awesome. Like, thank you so much for throwing the show. Great. Now we're just sitting there, and I'm just, in that moment, I'm super excited to get to know that person.
Yeah.
Right? Because I have nothing to offer the conversation. You've listened to my most recent vacation.
Yeah.
You know about my life. Great. Tell me about you.
Yeah.
Right? And thank you for supporting us. And like, what do you want to be a part of? And like, tell me why this is good for you. And just super cool to meet people. But that's where podcasting is such a special medium.
Yeah.
I just don't know that I see it anywhere else. But also just really cool. So thank you for everybody that makes this community awesome. And take a beat to say thank you, Jacob, and thank you, Matt and Paul, for allowing us to be part of this, man. 7 years.
Yeah.
We exist because you guys decided to take an interest in this. So.
I'll come right out and say it. I don't want this podcast to be any more successful. It's already a chore putting up with
I've been dragging my feet for a few years to make sure.
With Jim's demands.
Yeah.
On recording. Like, I need the studio has to be 72 degrees exactly.
Yeah.
I need
the bowl of green M&Ms.
Glazed donut. The glaze cannot be broken.
There's fucking donuts? God damn. It's been a minute since you've brought donuts. Do you remember years ago when you brought
I don't think I ever brought donuts.
Yes, you did. It was on
Mental
Sundays.
Fit
Because we used to do
donuts?
doubles. We used to do doubles on Sundays, and you'd bring like a dozen donuts. That was happening for a minute.
What I bring for you guys?
I mean, they were good.
Pigs
they were
in a
sorted
blanket.
donuts.
Wait, is that right?
As we wrap up the
we've
show,
done 335 episodes.
I was doing the math
335 minus, you said I wasn't on the first 42?
something like that.
Yeah.
So if they average out to 90 minutes an episode, that's
Easily.
26,370
Well, no,
minutes.
plus Patreon, they're 2 hours.
But we're not adding that right now.
Okay, just going
So
public.
divided by, no. Shit, I messed it up. 335 minus 42 times 90 minutes. I messed it up again.
How did you mess that up?
Because I typed the wrong number.
Okay, well then that's fine.
Times 90. There we go. Divided by 60.
Yeah, to get the minutes.
So that's 439 and a half hours.
Oh my gosh.
That's just pod therapy.
And that's just on Pod Therapy.
Whoa.
Wow.
And then Ice Cream Social is another 1,000. No, it's like 1135
Times
times 90-ish. I mean, it's all about 90, so
average it
440.
out.
Wow. You'd think you'd be better at this.
Yeah, you really would.
That's the takeaway.
100%.
Yeah, that's the takeaway. One of the fun things about
Oh yeah, it's like 40. 20. Oh yeah, that's like 2,200 hours.
holy
Woo!
shit. Hey, divide that by days. Figure out how many days you've been podcasting.
2,200 divided by 24 is 91 and a half days.
It's not as many as you'd think.
Well, I mean,
Well,
that's
that's without sleeping.
It's a lot of
that's
days.
3 months straight without stopping.
It's one like Jerry's Kids Telethon. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
I don't think you've ever seen a Jerry's Kids Telethon.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not even sure who he is. I was just hoping nobody would call me out. I know he's from Vegas. I know it's
Is it
somebody
from
with
the
those
90s?
shamrocks I see at the grocery store. I didn't really know. But I'm glad to support it, though.
You know Jerry Lewis is?
Is it the shamrock?
Lady!
No.
No?
I don't know what that is.
All right.
I don't know what any
Okay.
of that is. Is it the Shamrock Scale?
No, he's part of the Rat Pack.
He's a
He's
singer.
like with Sinatra. Like
Yeah, Dean Martin.
Martin
Dean
and
Martin.
Martin and
Lewis.
Lewis. That was like
the guys who discovered the fucking
Yes.
New World?
Yes, Martin and
No,
Lewis.
that's
Yeah,
Lewis
the-
and Clark.
The Oregon Trail guys. Yeah.
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 They're in the Rat Pack?
Yep.
Yes.
It was longer ago than you think.
Apparently, he didn't read their memoir.
I listen to
Nice.
audiobooks.
That was a
Nice
good
job,
one.
Dumbbell.
You're
High
welcome.
five. As we wrap up the show, I want to remind you, you
These
can sign up at
names.
patreon.com/therapy. You can get the extended show ad-free a day earlier, as well as enjoy our live chat Discord community and our weekly deep dives, interviews, skill shares, research roundups, and rants. We've got some new folks that have joined the Theraparty. Who's new to the group, Nick?
New Therapal, Mahoney loves people for real, for real.
That's a great
Ooh.
fucking name.
Real for
You know
real.
what? Upgrade your membership just so we have to say that every month.
Oh my god.
Please. It's
Yep.
a waste. You're leaving it on the table at $1. Please upgrade. I just want to read that every month.
And we got a new Therapod, Nora Monaco.
Welcome, Nora.
Nice.
Welcome.
And hey, we got a new Theraproducer,
Who is it?
Emma Kane.
Hey!
Hey!
Slay.
Slay! Thank you, Emma. And check out patreon.com/therapy. This week's bonus is an interview with Emma, who is an equine therapist in Illinois. And it's really fun. So thank you for that. We'd like to thank the benevolent, revered, generous, and flagrantly pro-therapy diehards who love you all so much they give till it hurts. The Therap partners, Dirty B and Pickett. And we want to especially thank our bosses, the mysterious and shrouded Illuminati members of the fan club, the Therap producers. Thank you, Jake Schneider, Myra, Robert Brownie, Jr. Mint, Smitty Scoop, Ben Dawn, Judy Schneider, Kayla Lansbury, Mrs. and Mr. Hot Dog Scoop, Malia, Leon Kassab, Mason Miller, Richard Macy, Carolyn Albert, Kevin Chamberlain, Tess Miller, Sammy Scoop, Ben Stanley, Slapping Your Face, Sarah Smith, Adam Hathaway, Byler T., Mike Helm, Paris, Samantha Cohn, Darren Cunningham, Lib, Team Monaco, Thunder Cougar, Falcon Scoop, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, Heyo, Oscar Swanrose, A Sunny Boy, Slurpy Kaye, Motherfucker, Sandra McWaffle, Dan Martin, Hannah Marie, Andrew Langmead, Bug Nuts, and welcoming Emma Kane.
And if you'd like to hear this episode uncut and unedited,
And why wouldn't you?
and enjoy our spontaneous side projects, go to patreon.com/therapy. And thank you for supporting mental health.
I'm Barack Obama. And that's all the time we got for this week's session. I want to thank our landlords.
Elvis.
The Experts
Elvis.
Elvis podcast. Hey, I stopped it quick. I jumped out real quick.
Not quick enough.
Shit, I probably could have got it.
Anyway, he was so confident going into it, too.
Patreon.com/therapy is all the extra goodies. We have some social media shit. Go find it. Patreon.com/therapy.
Do you want to submit a question to the show? Ask anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm Whitney.
Jim.
Chin strap.
I was going to go for it.
Thanks, and we'll see you for your appointment next week.
Oh, I've never seen somebody lose steam faster.
I was just so low confidence.
Wow.
Oh, come on, chin strap.
Yeah, that's why there's no fucking
Pull yourself
confidence.
up by your chin strap.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Wow, that's
Damn
a
it.
good one.
God.
Why are you still hitting gold?
Chin straps.
Upsetting.
It's like constantly kicking him in the dick has like hurt his self-confidence or something.
Weird.
Weird.
How many hours of dick kicking has Jim endured? I think Jacob just did the math on that.